And the Bulldogs starting lineup. There's a change at the point guard position tonight. The 5'5" freshman Mia Hernandez, who transferred just before the Christmas break to Hermiston out of Sunnyside. She will be joined in the backcourt with the 5'3" senior Sydney Stephanie and the 5'8" sophomore Jaden Ray. On the inside, the 5'9" junior Jaslyn Romero and the 6'4" senior Jordan Thomas. That's all for the Bulldogs, who have a 4-7 record, 2-5 in the MCC. And their third-year head coach, Juan Rodriguez. He is assisted by Mallory Moss and Dennis Stephanie. Amanda Rodriguez, his wife, is the freshman coach. Strength and conditioning coach, Emily Strout. The trainers, Dan Emery. The superintendent in Hermiston's Tricia Mooney. Principal at Hermiston High is Tom Spoo. The athletic director of the district is Larry Usher. And his assistant, ever important to the program, is Lindy Thompson. Bulldogs, the all-white uniforms, attacking left to right in the first quarter. And for the Blue Devils, it's a all-blue uniform, white numerals and lettering across the front. Brian Friels, Greg Tivity, and Sage Steele are officials for tonight's contest. Thomas easily wins the tip. And Jaden Ray throws a pass that is batted down and stolen away. Now, Walla Walla has the possession on the Hermiston turnover as Peyton Bergevin brings the ball into the front court. Olivia Depker on the near sideline for this Walla Walla team. Similar player personnel, but they do have the two twins that graduated from last year. 3 on the left wing by Depker, off back iron, rebounded by Romero. Romero hands off to Mia Hernandez, and she will run the point guard position. Gives to Jazz between the circles, and right back to Hernandez. Down inside to Thomas. Pass takes her down to the block. Back out to Hernandez. Drives baseline, forces one up. Partial block, give it to Gilmore. Hernandez keeps it, bounces it out onto the perimeter, and Hermiston can reset, but 5 on the shot clock. Realizing that, Romero drives, misses. Thomas put back, will be given credit for getting it up before the shot clock. And a miss, rebounded by Walla Walla. Into the front court for the Blue Devils, Kaisa Jasoro, who has it between the rings. A minute gone, no score yet. Down on the right block, nice inside pass. Gilmore couldn't finish. Thomas has it for Hermiston. To Romero. Jazz will bring it into the front court and give to the freshman Hernandez. Man-to-man defense for Walla Walla. Hernandez dribbling at the top of the key. Batted away by Depker, but Hernandez keeps it. Up top to Romero. 10 on the shot clock. Hernandez on the right wing. Lobs it to a cutter inside. It's too high for Stephanie. Stolen away. Jasoro will bring it into the front court for Walla Walla. Still no score. Almost 2 minutes in. Left baseline. Bergevin throws it across the baseline. Gilmore back out on the perimeter. Coming to the left, block on a Miller shot attempt by Thomas. She gets the ball and gets it to Romero. Jaslyn Romero into the front court. The junior gives to the freshman, Mia Hernandez. Dribbling against Depker. Right corner for Stephanie. Inside to Thomas. Thomas in the paint, lays it in. And just over 2 minutes into the game, our first points come off of the fingertips of Jordan Thomas to make it 2-0. Into the front court, Jasoro throws far sideline to Monica Miller. Around perimeter left for Depker. Into the corner, Miller has it there. Left elbow for Bergevin. Bergevin steps to her left, throws it inside, batted by Thomas down into Jaden Ray's hands. And for Hermiston, she'll race down the right sideline. Picks up her dribble, kicks it right corner. Stephanie 3-ball, front iron off, on the backside of the rim, rebounded by Gilmore for Walla Walla. 2-0 Hermiston, 5:22 on the clock, opening period of this Mid-Columbia Conference game. Miller to Jasora on the near side. Now back to Miller. She'll fire it inside, and it's kicked back out on the perimeter. Depker airballs a three-point attempt, and Jaden Ray's got the rebound. Couple of rebounds early for Jaden. Up to Hernandez. Down into the right corner for Stephanie. Inside, Thomas steps to her right down the lane. Misses the shot. She bats it back out onto the perimeter. Romero there. 3-ball. Too hard back iron into the hands of Bergevin for Walla Walla. Still a 2-0 lead Hermiston. 4:48 on the clock, first quarter. Monica Miller gives it to Kaisa Jasoro, the junior. Back to Miller, and in the right corner, Gilmore, the senior post, will hold. Bouncing on the block left side, how Depker finishes. Depker ties the game, 2 apiece. First points for Walla Walla come almost 3.5 minutes into the game. Hermiston attacking off to our right. Romero inside for Ray on the right block. Jaden stuck, lobs it back out to Hernandez. Hernandez comes to Romero on the near sideline. Thomas coming across the paint. Calling for it kind of mid-block. Will get it there and then goes tumbling to the floor. Holding call is whistled against Walla Walla. Olivia Depker puts her hands to her head. Cannot believe it, but it is the first foul of the game. Stops the clock. It's actually the first stoppage of the clock with 4:08 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, they actually gave that foul to Gilmore off the right side of Jordan.
On the baseline, the inbound lobbed in to Thomas. She lobs it in. And Hermiston has a 4-2 lead at the midpoint. At the left elbow, Bergevin's jumper off iron into the hands of Sydney Stephanie. She'll get it up to Hernandez on the near sideline. Slowing up into the right wing, looking down to the baseline, takes it to the hoop and is fouled on the way there. Second foul on Walla Walla.
First foul's on Walla Walla, number 25.
And this one goes against Depker. And Mia Hernandez earns herself a trip to the line to shoot a pair.
Hermiston was in the act of shooting the line to shoot team number 21, Mia Hernandez.
Eric, it still looks like Hermiston's having a little tough time adjusting to what everybody else is supposed to be doing out there. I know what their game plan is. It's a good game plan, getting the ball into Jordan, but everybody else has got to move along with that, nice and smooth, and right now they're not there.
Hernandez goes 1 for 2 at the line to make it a 5-2 Hermiston lead. 3:30 left in the opening quarter. Depker at the top of the key fires near side to Miller. Against the Hermiston zone, into the left corner for Bergen and back out. A year ago, this Walla Walla girls team was able to beat Hermiston with some hot outside shooting in the second half at Walla Walla in a non-conference game at the start of the year. Depker goes left baseline, fires up a 15-footer over the top of Thomas. It's tipped out of bounds and off of Walla Walla last. 3:07 left in this first quarter, 5-2 the Hermiston advantage. Inside to Thomas, double team comes, knocked away from her. She gets it out on the perimeter. Hernandez tries a three, back iron, and it bounces out onto the baseline. Miller will pull it in for Walla Walla. Still a Hermiston 3-point lead, 2:45 left in quarter number 1. Down inside, Gilmore catches on the baseline, stuck there, back out to Depker. Jasoro up top, coming to her right, kicks it onto the perimeter. Miller there. Bergevin hands back off to Miller, one of their outside shooters. They'll go inside. Gilmore over the top of Thomas, right block. Missed it, airballed into the hands of Jaslyn Romero. 2:25 left first quarter. Romero down to Ray. Ray short on the layup on the left block. Depker's got the rebound for Walla Walla. Still a 5-2 Hermiston lead. Left wing for Monica Miller. Inside, coming down onto the left lane. Bergevin misses the shot. Stephanie's got the rebound for Hermiston. To Hernandez, into the front court. Leaves it for a trailing Romero. Steps into a three-pointer. Rattles home. And Hermiston is able to extend their lead to 8-2. Juan Rodriguez wanted a timeout with 1:55 left in the first quarter. It's not given, so Walla Walla on offense with Jasoro throwing it in. Side, Bergevin has it tipped out of her hands. Romero's got it. Lobs it up court. Couple of bounces. Hernandez chases it down and lays it in. And now the timeout is going to be given to Juan Rodriguez with a 10-2 lead. 1:40 left in the first quarter. We'll take that break as well. Back in 60 on AM 1360 KOHU. It was slow going for Hermiston at the start, but they have a 10-2 lead with 95 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Hosting Walla Walla. And the Blue Devils out of the Hermiston timeout with the possession, facing this Bulldog zone. Down into the left corner, Peyton Vergevin kicks it across right side. Jasoro too hard on the 12-footer. Rebounded by Maddie Bird, who checked into the game, along with Kendall Dowdy for Hermiston at that timeout. Sydney Stephanie gives it to Mia Hernandez. And that's the 5 on the floor for Hermiston right now. Hernandez picks up her dribble, back to Romero. Between the rings, she'll give near side to Stephanie. Gets it right back, top of the key, quick trigger 3 ball. High off of the back iron. Bird's got the rebound stolen away from her by Gilmore. Gilmore gets it out far sideline and into the front court. It'll be brought by Miller. Kicks near side, Jasoro for Walla Walla, throws it across right lane, and a big collision out on the right perimeter as Jalzin Romero, late to try to break on that ball, ran into Peyton Bergevin and might have got worse for the wear after that collision. Both are up. Both are ready to be put back in action with 49.9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And still a 10-2 Hermiston lead. Miller on the right side, back up top to Bergevin. Those two pass back and forth against the 2-3 zone. Near side, Jasoro, the junior. One bounce and she'll get it back up top. Fired inside, Gilmore down to the right block. Might have got an extra bunny stepped in there. Rebounded by Carissa Oliveras, the junior who came into the game at the timeout. Oliveras rebound put back and we'll flip it in. Oliveras ends the 8-0 run by Hermiston. 10-4 Bulldogs advantage with 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Near side, Stephanie. Stephanie slows down, kicks it back out to Hernandez. Whip it across left wing. Dowdy there, up top to Stephanie. And around the perimeter they'll work. Shot clock off, 4 seconds left. Romero's going to go to work one-on-one. Step back, top of the key, 3 ball. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 13-4 Hermiston after 1 quarter. Jaslyn Romero has a couple of 3-point shots to put Hermiston in front by 9. We'll go to the second quarter after this 1-minute break on AM 1360 KOHU. Eric Olson, Sunny Levy at Hermiston High School. Bulldog girls hosting Walla Walla with a 13-4 lead. Took us about 4 minutes of that first quarter to have any offensive action, but Hermiston did hit some shots.
Yeah, they hit a couple of long bombs by Romero, and they did go inside to Jordan, which they got to continue to do.
The zone has pestered Walla Walla that hasn't been able to hit from the outside, nor have they been attacking. They don't have a foul shot yet either.
No.
13-4 is the score. Ball batted away. Every time they go inside, Hermiston's been getting hands on the ball, and they forced another turnover. Mia Hernandez in the front court. Stops, hesitates, drives to the rim, misses the layup attempt, and it falls into the hands of Kaisa Jasoro, who will walk into the front court for Walla Walla. Bulldogs 40 seconds into the second quarter, up by 9. Left corner for Bergevin. She'll get it back out on top, Jasoro, and gets it right back. Those two pass around. Miller on the right perimeter catches. Head fake, and she'll drive and kick. Jasoro coming to her left, spins around. Hermiston's zone is working right now against Walla Walla. Into the paint, batted down, picked up by Oliveras, taken away from her. Jumper for Gilmore is off iron, and Mia Hernandez has it for Hermiston. A minute into the second quarter, and Hermiston's lead is 13-4 against Walla Walla. Sydney Stephanie on the near sideline. Kendall Dowdy up top, bounces it inside. Forced pass knocked away from Jordan Thomas. And up court, they'll throw it to Bergevin over the top of her, and Stephanie chases down the turnover. Rifled up to Hernandez. 6:34 on the clock of the second quarter. Hermiston's going to go out into a motion offense. Kaylee Young, is into the game for Hermiston on the perimeter. Lob it inside to Thomas. Double team comes. Gilmore gets backed off by the shoulder of Thomas, and then Thomas flips it in. Just good, hard post move inside, and Hermiston's lead is 15-4. Monica Miller has it on the left wing for the Blue Devils. They used most of the shot clock last time, just passing around the perimeter. Ball tipped and stolen away by Hernandez on the near sideline. She rifles it up court, too far for Stephanie, chases it down, keeps it into Dowdy. Dowdy into Thomas in traffic, and the ball's knocked away from Jordan. 5:45 left in the second quarter. Hermiston's lead is 11. Jasoro gives near sideline to Miller. Down on the baseline, good pass to Gilmore. Gilmore can't finish right on the left block. Dowdy rebounds it for Hermiston, up to Hernandez. Bulldogs by 11. Hernandez right corner for Stephanie. Throws it inside. Thomas tips it back out. Hernandez three ball in the corner. Too hard. Backside rebound by Miller for Walla Walla. 15-4 Hermiston. 5:18 left in the second quarter. Left wing for Jasoro. She'll get it into the corner. Miller tries the three ball there. Back iron too hard. Dowdy rebounds for Hermiston. Up court to Hernandez across the timeline. She'll slow up and set up a half-court set. Hermiston looking to add on to the 15-4 lead. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Young holding overhead on the left wing. Kicks it across. Right side, Dowdy. Down inside to Young. Got it over the top of Miller. Dowdy's pass gets inside, and Young finishes. Timeout. No, just a pause. And it's for Jordan Thomas to lace up the high tops. Jaden Ray, Jocelyn Romero will come back in. Sydney Stephanie and Mia Hernandez each get their first breaks. And Hermiston's lead is 17-4. 4:47 left in the second quarter.
Hermiston just needs to keep putting pressure on the basket, Eric. They're doing a pretty good job of getting the ball in. Maybe a little bit too quick on the trigger to Jordan.
Jasoro coming down the right lane, throws one high off the glass. It's halfway down, bounces out, rebound, put back, blocked on Huxell's attempt by Thomas, but Jasoro has it back on the perimeter. Inside to Oliveris, kicks it, top of the key, three ball. Depker has it rim out into the hands of Romero for Hermiston. Juan Rodriguez, the third-year head coach, walking up and down the sideline, patting his head to call this play. It's Romero top of the key, leaves it for Dowdy on the left wing, circling right. Ray into the paint, step through, and is called for a travel. It's called a pivot foot. 4:02 left in the second quarter, and Hermiston's lead is 17-4. And again, just like the first quarter, Walla Walla goes about half of the period without putting points on the board. And this is just blistering fast of a game so far. I wish I had some wood to knock on because, I mean, there's 3 fouls. There have been very few balls put out of play. Left wing, three-pointer lifted by Depker, short, rebounded by Dowdy for Hermiston, up to Romero, down the left wing. Hermiston up 17-4 with 3:30 left in the second quarter. Romero coming to her right, picks up defense and throws it to Ray. Around the perimeter, Young has it on the left wing. Romero up top, gets the pat double dribble.
Yep.
It's 17-4, 3:12 left in the second quarter, but the passing could be a lot crisper than it is right now for Hermiston.
And especially when you got somebody coming to you, you can't throw that pass on a straight pass, maybe on a bounce pass, but on a straight pass right at the hip. That's way too low.
Inside the lane to Bergevin, she'll lay it in, plus it'll have a chance for a three-point play. As we will see Walla Walla's first foul shot of the game. Jordan Thomas called for the harm. Second on Hermiston. And Bergevin, who made the shot, has the foul shot go begging. Hermiston's lead is 17-6 with Walla Walla getting their first points of the game. 2:50 left, of the quarter. 2:50 left in the second quarter, 17-6. Down to Thomas on the right block, catches, step through, stuck. She'll get it back out on the perimeter to Romero. Romero crosses over, tries to split two defenders, and gets shouldered to the floor. Walla Walla, foul called on Peyton Bergevin. Her first third-team foul, and Hermiston has a baseline inbound with 2:34 left in the second, up by 11. Dowdy up top, kicks into the right corner. A three-pointer for Romero off the front iron. Ray got away with an over the back. Depker has the rebound secured anyways. And into the front court, Jasura will bring it for Walla Walla. 17-6 lead for Hermiston with 2:15 left second quarter. Catch on the inside by Oliveris, back out on the perimeter. Bergevin hits a long-distance three-point shot. And Bergevin cuts Hermiston's lead to 17-9 with 2:04 left in the second period. Romero yo-yoing the ball, up throws top of the key to Ray. Ray hounded, throw inside to Thomas. Thomas right block, high off the glass, and it falls in. Jordan's got 8. Thomas averaging 14.9 points per game. Hermiston's leading scorer by average has the Bulldogs out in front by 10 with 1:38 left in the second quarter. Bergevin throws near sideline. Mia Huxell, a 6'1 junior, lobs it across. Depker coming into the lane, throws it, stolen away by Romero. Now Romero's got a 3-on-none, leaves it up court for Ray. Ray misses the layup, and then Romero tips it out of bounds. Minute 20 left in the second quarter. Jordan Thomas is going to get a break with Hermiston in front 19-9. And it will be Paige Palzinski, the 5'9 sophomore, off of the bench to take that center position in the 2-3 zone. On the perimeter, Oliveris holds it for Walla Walla. Far side to gives to Bergevin back to Depker. Depker hoists the 3. Halfway down, around and out. Romero's got the rebound for Hermiston with a minute left in the second quarter. Hermiston looking to add to the 19-9 lead. Dowdy on the left baseline. Dowdy will circle into the paint, leave it top of the key. Ray a 3, high arcing shot is off iron. Dowdy's got the rebound. Picks up her dribble, throws it back up top to Romero. Romero against Bergevin. Hands off to Young. Young near side to far side to Ray, and they'll bring it around near side. Three-pointer for Romero, off iron, inside. Palzinski gets an offensive rebound. Across to the right block to Ray. It gets out to Young, right baseline 3, airballed. Palzinski's got another offensive rebound, fouled on the putback attempt. 27.1 seconds left in the second quarter. The foul is on Chris Oliveris, her first, and the 14th foul on Walla Walla. Just the second time somebody's gone to the line for Hermiston. The sophomore Palzinski will make the first and earn one more. Palzinski and the JV team pounded on Walla Walla 78-30 earlier on the Ranch and Home scoreboard. Miss. Dowdy chases down the offensive rebound in the corner, and Hermiston, with the shot clock off, can hold for last if they want, up 20-9 with 18 seconds left in the second quarter. This possession, this ball stayed on this end a lot because Hermiston's got 3 offensive rebounds here. Palzinski 2, Dowdy 1. Dowdy's got a right sideline, she'll travel. Now with 6.6 seconds left, the Blue Devils do have a chance to get one more shot up before halftime. It'll be rolled in. Bergevin letting it roll and roll, picks it up at half court, brings it to the top of the key. Her right picks up her dribble, up to Jasoro. Jasoro doesn't realize how much time's left, gets it to Bergevin, who throws it all the way off the top of the backboard. End of the second quarter. Hermiston's lead is 20-9. Bulldogs have a good defensive first half hosting Walla Walla tonight. We'll be back with the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show when we come back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Bulldog Basketball on your home of Hermiston High School athletics for 48 years. AM 1360 KOHU. I'm Eric Sunny. It's the Tom Mitchell Ford Country halftime show at Hermiston High School. The Bulldog girls with a 20-9 lead in the first half. Walla Walla has not really found an answer to how to attack Hermiston's 2-3 zone during the first half of play.
Yeah, it's they're trying to force the ball in a little bit too late into the possession. They're like Hermiston right now. If you want to go ahead and attack this Walla Walla team, you go ahead and let Jordan get set on the post, whether it be high or down low, and you look to go into her right away. If it's not there, then you kick it back out and try and work it around to the perimeter, and then look back into Jordan because she's going to be there. Walla Walla has the same opportunities being afforded to them, but they're getting into it way too late and having to try and force it inside where Jordan Thomas is sitting along with Kendall Dowdy and with Maddie Bird inside.
Offensively, the Bulldogs, Jaslyn hit the 2 3-point shots in the first quarter. She's had a few other good looks, hasn't been able to find anything to fall. They have just those 2 3-point shots so far. They're getting most of their looks. We've talked about it during the first half, trying to force passes sometimes into areas, especially in the paint, that don't exist yet. Jordan's hasn't fully established her advantage in the position, or a pass to a cutter that is defended better than the offensive player who's passing the ball thought.
Yeah, if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna try and pass it into Jordan before she gets established in there, they need to go up high with the ball. They can't have it down around her shoulders or below, because there's no way that she, with her movement going so quickly, that she's going to be able to go ahead and stop that ball from either getting tipped, which is right in the middle of the passing lane. They just need to, take their time, get the ball up high to her. She's 6'3". She's got a wingspan of huge. Just get it up high to her. Let her go get the ball and take her into her shot.
And especially against a team like Walla Walla, it doesn't really have the height, the patience even more so. Not just she's inside, but she's going to physically dominate anybody trying to defend her. Let her be fully set exactly where she wants to be. Throw it high to her hand so she can catch it, keep it up in the air, and then make her drop step move and put, they're not putting as much pressure as Richland or Kamiakin did over the last couple of games. So there's no reason to rush things. There's no hurried need in what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and this might be a bad game to follow up with, because of the fact they're not putting any pressure on us like that, to follow up with teams like Richland and what we saw especially against Kamiakin, where Walla Walla isn't putting that pressure. They got a ton of time to just relax, work on getting the pass in. I'm really kind of surprised that, and I'll bet you bottom dollar on the talk in there. 20 points is not good against the defense that they're facing, and in a first half.
It is the 8th game, so the midpoint of the Mid-Columbia Conference season, and Hermiston's lead is 20-9 at the halfway point of this game. The boys from Hermiston out on the floor right now taking their shots. What are you looking for tonight from the Hermiston boys? They need to bounce back from the losses to Richland and Kamiakin this past weekend.
We need to, as we were talking with Athletic Director Larry Usher prior to coming up here and setting up, they need to really concentrate on lockdown defense. They can be side by side, shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, they'll lose their man, and they'll leave them wide open for a three, and as soon as the guy kicks it over, somebody else will jump out and they'll kick it in for a lay-in. They've got to go ahead, and if they're going to play man-to-man defense, play that good lockdown man-to-man defense.
I did talk to Casey Arstein. We'll hear that later on tonight. And one of the things I asked him after I did the pregame interview was, of the timeouts you called at Kamayakan, were they all defensive? And we both thought about it for a second. I said, no, you had the one you had to call to drop an offensive play, but 3 of those 4 were plays because the defense just wasn't doing what it needed to do. And, I mean, for this Hermiston boys team this past weekend was a reality check. They are in an incredibly good league, and Kamayakan has taken now the advantage in the 3A teams. Kennewick's coming in this Friday night here to Hermiston. The Bulldogs need to try to finish off the sweep of the season series with them. They got a big game at Chiawana on Saturday night. This stretch right here, they got to reestablish themselves at the top of the MCC, because right now they're sitting right middle of the pack after that loss on Saturday night. It's 30-9 here at halftime. Excuse me, it's 20-9. I was optimistic. Here at halftime, and we're on the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show. When we come back in 2 minutes, we'll have your first half statistics and tip off the second half here on AM 1360 KOHU. From the Old West Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, I'm Eric Olson along with Sonny Levy. Bulldog basketball hosting Walla Walla. Doubleheader action tonight here in the purple gym we know as the Doghouse. And for the Hermiston Bulldogs, no changes to their starting lineup for the third quarter. Jaden Ray, Sydney Stephanie, Jaslyn Romero, and Jordan Thomas. Mia Hernandez, the freshman, got the start tonight at the guard position. Jordan Thomas, leading scorer for Hermiston with 8. Jaslyn Romero has added 6, 3 from Mia Hernandez, 2 from Kyla Young, and Paige Balzinski has 1 for the Bulldogs. 2 of 4 from the foul line and 2 3-point shots made, both by Romero. Walla Walla will not make any changes either. Kaisa Jasoro, Hannah Gilmore, Monica Miller, Peyton Bergevin, and Olivia Depker, their starting 5. Bergevin with 5 points leads the way. Depker and Oliveris each have 2. Walla Walla missed the only foul shot they took in the first half, and a foul just inside the opening seconds of the second half called against Olivia Depker. It'll be her second and the first foul just 6 seconds into the third quarter. By the way, the Blue Devils also made 1 3-point shot. Other numbers, Sonny, that stood out to you?
Hermiston doing a good job on the boards. 24 rebounds in that first half with 7 offensive boards, Eric. So they've been able to go ahead and Paige Palzinski came in and caught a couple and at least got him some points out of it.
Romero's pass inside to Thomas is poked away. Good defense by Gilmore. For Walla Walla, the Blue Devils secure it in the backcourt. Jasoro will bring it into the front court. Hermiston's lead is 11 to start the second half. 30 seconds into the third quarter, and Hermiston sits back in the 2-3 zone. Actually, this one's a little bit more matchup in orientation. Miller will throw it, right elbow extended. Jasoro splits two defenders, kicks right baseline corner, and a two-pointer hit by Gilmore, her first points of the game. Cuts Hermiston's lead to 20-11. Down inside, Thomas fouled. Gilmore got her on the arm, and Gilmore's going to send Jordan Thomas to the foul line to take a pair. First foul shots of the game for Thomas.
That's exactly what we talked about, Eric, was getting it to her down on the box, letting her turn to the basket. They're going to have to foul her because of her height.
Jordan misses the first, so now 2 of 5 for Hermiston from the foul line. They don't take a ton. They're 7th in the conference in free throws attempted. And I would postulate in part because they don't make a ton. They're 58% from the foul line. However, that's right in the middle of the MCC at 5th. So that means there are teams that are shooting worse than 58% from the free throw line. Missed shot under the basket by Miller, picked up by Ray for Hermiston. 21-11, the Bulldogs lead with 6:45 left in quarter number 3. Ball knocked out of bounds, far sideline into the student section, which is still filling up. Romero on the far sideline in front of the cheerleaders will lob it into Hernandez. The freshman coming to her right now will move out to the near sideline as Juan Rodriguez stands, hands on hips, surveying his offense, and Jaden Ray switched her pivot foot and turned it over. 90 seconds into quarter number 3, 21-11 is the Hermiston advantage as Jasoro brings it into the front court and leaves it for trailing Bergevin for Walla Walla. Miller will kick near side to Depker, tries a three-pointer, way too hard, and Thomas has the rebound. Thomas clears out traffic and finds Romero, who will bring it into the front court for Hermiston. Looking to add on to their 10-point lead. Crossover by Romero, takes it down left side, lays it in +1. Gilmore in disbelief, barking that she didn't hit Romero. Romero's got a chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
13 foul. Romero, shoot one more.
Gilmore, that's her third. A change for Walla Walla, 2 changes. Gilmore's got to come out. Mia Huxell will come back in. Carissa Oliveras replacing Monica Miller. Foul shot, no. Rebound tipped around, secured underneath by Oliveras for Walla Walla. Jasoro tries to pick the pace up. 23-11 Hermiston, 2 minutes into the third quarter. Depker circling in the paint, leaves it for a cutting Bergevin, blocked by Thomas. Out of bounds off Hermiston last. Inbound into the right corner, somehow forced into Huxell. Huxell will dribble one side of that corner, then bounce it back down to the baseline for Bergevin. Back out to Jasoro, inside. Huxell right block, foul called against Thomas, +1. Huxell's points cut the Hermiston lead back down to 10. Thomas, her second foul. And that's the first on the Bulldogs here in quarter number 3. 5 minutes, 44 seconds left in the third quarter. Hermiston 23, Walla Walla 13 as the foul shot misses. And it's chased down and kept alive by Bergevin, who hoists and hits a 3 right corner. Bergevin's second of the game, and Hermiston's lead is 23-16. Kick near sideline, Romero. Down left baseline, fouled on a block near the baseline. Bergevin will be the one called for the harm. 4th foul on Walla Walla. Pauses the clock with 5:29 left. They gave it to Depker? That's unfortunate for Depker, her third. And now Depker's realizing it, and she's saying to the coaches that that's the wrong foul was put in. Hermiston still with the ball. Their lead down to 7. Foul on Depker. Depker just picked up her 4th. And this comes back to, for first-year head coach Morgan Jo Poinier, I think she thought that was going to be Bergevin as well put into the scorer's book. And so the sub got there late, and the Bulldogs were able to get the ball back in play. And then Hernandez attacks Depker, and Depker picks up her 4th. Hernandez, however, misses the first, and Hermiston is 1 for 4 in this quarter from the foul line. And now 3 for 8 overall. Hernandez is able to hit the second. 24-16 with 5:11 left in the third quarter. Miller is back into the game. She came in with Depker in foul trouble. Bounce it inside. Hernandez got away with a bump on Bergevin, and now down on the floor. Bergevin's tied up by Ray and Hernandez. Possession arrow is Walla Walla, so they'll have a baseline inbound with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Trailing Hermiston 24-16. Bergevin to put it in play. Into the corner for Huxell. Out on the perimeter, Jasoro. Left corner, Bergevin hoists a 3, and Thomas has the rebound for Hermiston. One bounce, she'll get it near sideline. Romero into the front court. Bulldogs looking to add to their 24-16 lead with 4:45 left in the third quarter. Romero comes to the top of the key, lobbed into the right corner. Nobody there. It was out off of Hermiston, they say. Allegedly no tip.
Wow.
The sarcasm indicates that I disagree.
Yeah. I mean, even as sloppy as we got there for a little while, you could tell that ball was tipped just by the difference in rotation of the ball.
Cross the lane, left side, missed shot by Miller, rebounded by Romero for Hermiston. She'll bring it into the front court. Hermiston by 8 with 4:17 left in the third quarter. Hernandez steps into the lane, step through, misses a shot, and Miller has the rebound for the Blue Devils. Into the front court, Stephanie almost ripped it away from her. Thrown and tipped out of bounds by Hernandez onto the far sideline. Kendall Dowdy comes to the scorer's table along with Kayla Young. And Stephanie and Hernandez are out. Juan Rodriguez wants a timeout before that. 4:04 left in the third quarter. 24-16 Hermiston's advantage. It will be a full timeout for the Bulldogs. And Hermiston's lead is at 8 right now. The Blue Devils, they stayed. The reality was they stayed with them in the second quarter. Hermiston won the quarter 7-5. And now Walla Walla has outscored Hermiston 7-4 in this quarter to cut it down to single digits. There's not a lot of pace or energy in this game right now.
Not a lot of energy. Nobody is really moving. The only one that was really moving out there was Jordan Thomas when she was in the game, trying to get to the box where she needed to be. You know, and if they're going to run this 4 out or 3 out or 5 out, whatever they're going to run, they got to run it with a little bit of pace so that they can go ahead and make that defense move. If they're going to do it the way they're doing it right now, the defense can pretty much sit in their little zone defense and not even challenge the offensive player because they're all out beyond the arc.
Walla Walla will have the ball out of the Hermiston timeout. Kaisa Jasoro at the top of the key. Bounces to Bergevin, back outside the three-point line. Give and go, Jasoro kicks to Miller, steps to her left. Long 2, knocked down. Monica Miller's first points of the game. And it's 24-18. 3:44 left in the third quarter. Young in the right corner, out to Dowdy. Coming to her left. Kicks it, bats it, past Ray, out of bounds.
Possession goes to Walla Walla.
Last Friday, Hermiston did see a 16-point second-half lead erased in a loss to Richland. Trying to avoid a similar fate here tonight. Double-digit second-half lead. Walla Walla is not quite there yet, but they've got it down to a 6-point game with 3:22 left in the third. Bergevin kicks it, left elbow. Oliveras keeps it, left wing. Three-pointer knocked down by Miller. Consecutive baskets for junior Monica Miller. And the guard for Walla Walla has cut Hermiston's lead down to 3. Inside Thomas, right side lay-in +1.
Go figure that one, Eric. That's exactly what they needed to be doing all night long. Jordan Thomas is going down there working hard. She can get that basket for us.
That's her first personal foul.
Huxell called for her first, and Thomas at the line to try to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Misses the foul shot. That's the other. Hermiston's got to start hitting foul shots. They're free. 3 minutes left. Thomas given credit for a block. The whole Walla Walla bench up on their feet for a second. Hermiston the other direction. Up by 26-21. Ray fouled on the other end by Huxell. Looked like she got the ball. But Jaden will go to the line to shoot two.
First foul is number 34, Mia Huxell, her second personal foul.
Second for Huxell. Now 7 against the Blue Devils.
Number 10, Jaden Ray.
Ray, who's scoreless tonight, averaging 5.6 points per game. Foul shooting woes continue for Hermiston. The second one does go. And the lead is 27-21 for Hermiston with 2:45 left in the third quarter. Miller up top, coming down to the left side. Huxell hoists a 2 and swishes it. Huxell on the left baseline knocks down a 15-footer, and Hermiston's lead is 27-23 with 2:25 left third quarter. Dowdy up top to Ray. Ray coming to her right. Will try to get around Miller. Stuck on the baseline. Lost her handles. Back out to Young, and now near sideline Romero. Rifled inside. Batted up into the air by Bergevin, and Walla Walla's got it. Blue Devils down by 4 with 2:07 left in the third quarter. Bergevin on the near sideline. Gisoro left wing. Looking inside. Now she'll put it on the floor, skip it across right side. Miller's had the hot hand, too hard on that long 2, and it's tipped and a foul called on the rebound against Jaden Ray, her first, and the second team foul on Hermiston.
First foul is on Hermiston, number
Leaves Walla Walla with a baseline inbound, baskets to the left for Kaisa Gisoro, the junior. She puts it in play, holds it over her head, whips it into the left corner for Oliveras. Walla Walla got a new shot clock on that foul. Minute 44 left in the third. Blue Devils down by 4. Blocked there by Young on a shot attempt by Gisoro. To Romero on the near sideline. Romero brings it to the front court. Leaves for Dowdy in the corner. Up top to Young. Ray on the right side. Ray will drive underneath the hoop. Reverse layup is off the bottom of the iron. Minute 23 left. Up court, Ray will steal away a pass looking for Bergevin. And Hermiston up by 4. We'll look to add on to it with Dowdy in the right corner. Into Thomas. Thomas down and around. Huxell to lay it in. Thomas has 13. 29-23. Minute left in the third. Into the front court. Gisoro will bring it. Throw it backdoor. Gisoro right block, kicks it across. Huxell misses the buddy hop from the left block, and Hermiston's got it in Romero's hands. Looking to add on to the 6-point lead with 42 seconds left. Tip pass. Gisoro's got the steal for Walla Walla. A 1-on-2. Gisoro will take it against Young. Shoves her down with her forehand and misses the shot, but it's rebounded by Oliveras. Right corner, three-pointer for Miller off the top of the backboard. Romero's got it. 25 seconds left in the third. 29-23. Romero lobs it inside. Thomas finishes it. She's got 15 now. 31-23, and Hermiston's been able to restore a little bit of order in the last 2 minutes. Final 12 seconds of the third quarter. Top of the key, Bergevin coming to her left. Dowdy poked it away. Bergevin chases it back down. Hoists a long 3 off the front iron, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. 31-23. Hermiston ends the quarter with a bit of a flurry, and they will take the lead of 8 into the fourth after we come back in 60 seconds on AM 1360 KOHU. Bulldogs lead 31-23 as we go to the fourth quarter at Hermiston High School, hosting the Walla Walla Blue Devils. The inbound pass taken away, and Sydney Stephanie steals it right back to keep Hermiston in possession. Stephanie out there along with Mia Hernandez. Stephanie in the right corner. Back up top to Kendall Dowdy. Jaslyn Romero, who hasn't left the floor but for a couple of minutes in the first half, out there along with Paige Pauzinski, the fifth for Hermiston. Dowdy near sideline to Hernandez. Hernandez, the freshman, working, circling all the way across the lane and throws it under the basket. Nobody's there but Carissa Oliveros, who steals it for Walla Walla. Kaisa Jasoro, who also hasn't left the floor tonight, kicks near sideline to Oliveros, trying to get it inside to Hannah Gilmore. Across on a pass from Peyton Bergevin, and Monica Miller, who's got 5 points, out there as well. Down on the left block, Oliveros has to kick it back out on top. And the Blue Devils trying to work it inside. Ball tipped out of bounds on a missed shot. Missed shot, didn't hit the rim, so it's a shot clock violation. Even though Pauzinski had tipped it out of bounds, and Page will come out. Jordan Thomas will return. A minute into the fourth quarter, the Bulldogs in front 31-23. Another pass that's poked, but Hermiston keeps it. Stephanie whips it across to Hernandez. Down right block, Thomas at the hoop, cannot finish. Dowdy gets the rebound, flings it on the floor, and Thomas keeps it for Hermiston. Romero's got 8. Jordan's got 15. That's pretty much it for the scoring. Hernandez does have 4. She gives the ball to Romero. Down inside to Thomas. Good inside position. Easy finish. From a Walla Walla perspective, that was too easy, but again, there was patience to let Jordan get down low.
Yeah, and just to keep that one alive, Kendall Dowdy did an absolutely great job on that offensive board.
Monica Miller airballs a three-pointer in the left corner, picked up by Romero. For Hermiston down the near sideline, she'll bring it. Bulldogs with 2 minutes gone in the fourth quarter, up by 10. Inside to Thomas. Thomas kicks it up to the rim and is fouled by Hannah Gilmore, who commits her 4th. So for Walla Walla, small subplot is Gilmore, their senior post, has 4. And Olivia Depker, who's on the bench right now, also has 4 fouls. Jordan Thomas at the line with 2 foul shots coming. Bulldogs were 3 of 8 in the third quarter from the foul line. And so it is a sight for sore eyes for Thomas to hit the first. Thomas goes 1 for 2, and then there's a foul on the rebound. Called against Jaslyn Romero, her second. Third on Hermiston in the second half. All the way to the 10 and a lay-in there. A nifty job by Bergevin. Just kind of found some space and took advantage of the hole to lay it in. Hermiston 34, Walla Walla 25 with 5:34 left in regulation. Dowdy near sideline for Hernandez. Her pass is tipped and stolen by Miller. But Miller, trying to get it out of traffic, throws it right back to Hernandez. Stephanie up top, coming to her right, leaves for Dowdy on the right wing. Dowdy will circle into paint, find an open space in the hole and lay it in. Kendall Dowdy's first points of the game. Extend Hermiston's lead to 36-25 with 5:10 left in the fourth quarter. Bergevin, foul on the pass inside on Hermiston. 4th team foul on the Bulldogs. And Jordan Thomas is the one called for the foul, her 3rd. Depker, who's been saddled with 4 fouls, will come back into the game for Carissa Oliveros. Blocks and elbows for the Bulldogs to inbound, for the Blue Devils to inbound. Miller into Josoro, down on the right baseline. Her pass taken by Dowdy. Dowdy held as she batted it away. Kept by Bergevin. Bergevin down the left lane, and she runs over the top of Jordan Thomas, who drew the charge. Bergevin only her 2nd. Player control, so 10th team foul. But Hermiston just has the possession. Over 3 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. 36-25 is the Hermiston advantage. Left side pass, got to Stephanie somehow, down inside to Thomas. Thomas, good hesitation, threw it off of the front of the rim. Ball loose, Thomas goes to the floor, gets it out to Stephanie. Romero, top of the key, decides better of the three-point shot and steps out to the right perimeter. Kick near side for Hernandez. Slob it, right corner Stephanie, whips it across over the top of the bench and into the third row. On the Ranch and Home scoreboard, halftime score. And the Kamiakin girls up on Pasco, 32-25. Kamiakin is playing without Simone Brown tonight, so they do lose one of their keys. 4:15 left in the fourth quarter. Is that a statement?
Yeah.
Top of the key, Bergevin three-pointer falls off of the back iron to the left, and Romero chases it down for Hermiston. Sonny just got some Tylenol out, so make of it what you will at the halfway point of the fourth quarter. 36-25. Dowdy got away with a tremendous moving screen. Romero near side to Hernandez. I mean, it was like good offensive line tackling there, or blocking. Hernandez misses the top of the key three, and Jasoro has the rebound. Into the front court, she'll bring it for Walla Walla. Right side, Depker up top to Bergevin. Circuit around left. Jasoro, who hasn't scored tonight, will put it on the floor, pick up the dribble, lob it across right side, somehow ends up in Miller's hands. Miller down underneath, and a tie-up as Hernandez stepped in and stole the ball away from Gilmore, but Gilmore did have enough strength to hold on to it for a touch. Hernandez will come out, and Jaden Ray will come into the game. This was the starting lineup for Hermiston for the last few games. Ray, along with Stephanie, Romero, Thomas, and Dowdy. Dowdy chasing Miller out on the right wing. Kick into the corner. Bergevin hoists a three. They'll count it as before the shot clock. No, they will not. Shot clock violation. Hermiston has forced two of those defensively here in the fourth quarter. And it counts as a turnover for Walla Walla with 3:10 left in the fourth. They trail Hermiston 36-25.
Boy, even at that, when it's going down there, Hermiston was real late getting to that ball on the rebound after the warning went off, not knowing if they were going to get the call or not.
Top of the key, Romero around a double high screen, knocks it down, nothing but the bottom of the net. Jaslyn Romero's got her third three-point shot of the night. 39-25 with 2:43 left in the fourth quarter. Romero's three ball might have just created the breathing room Hermiston needed, not necessarily to relax, but feel a little bit more comfortable in life. Missed shot by Bergevin, rebounded by Thomas. She'll get it to Romero. Hermiston up to Dowdy. Dowdy will take it in, dribble it, off her foot out of bounds. 2:26 left in the fourth quarter. 39-25 is the lead for Hermiston. Jasoro brings it into the front court and stops at the top of the key. Lobs far side to Gilmore. Gilmore against Thomas. One bounce, throws it up. Ray can't quite steal it. Got her hand on it, but it's kept by Jasoro. Underneath the Bergevin, misses the shot over the top of Thomas, and then into the backcourt, Gilmore commits a foul and will foul out of this game. Dowdy will come to the other end of the floor, and two foul shots due to her. Mia Huxell will come back in for Walla Walla. 2:06 left in the fourth. Bulldog girls looking to snap a little mini two-game skid. First two games of 2019. This is game number 3 of the new year.
Good Lord.
New year, new you, not necessarily from the foul line for Hermiston. 6 of 15 from the charity stripe right now. Blue Devils aren't much better. They've just taken way fewer. Dowdy misses another one. Into the front court. Bergevin brings it for Walla Walla. Right side to Miller. Swing it around with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 39-25 Hermiston's lead. Miller will hoist a three off the back iron into the hands of Ray. Romero rifles it up court to Stephanie. Stephanie works into the paint. Scoop shot. A lot of contact, no whistle. Tipped out of bounds. And the last touched by Thomas. It was a nice by Sydney. She should have gotten foul shots out of that one.
Yeah, and she's kind of like Andrew. She doesn't get the breaks that should be there, but yeah, should have had 2 free throws.
Right side, Depker will throw up a three-pointer off the back iron, tipped by Thomas into Romero's hands, and Juan Rodriguez says, slow it up. Minute 24 left, up 39-25. Use a shot clock. Ray near side to Dowdy. Dowdy up top to Stephanie. And Romero will catch it and then back up, and they'll set it again. 10 on the shot clock. A little more than a minute on the game clock. To a cutting Stephanie. Right side, scoop lay and goes. That time the attack pays off. 41-25 is the Hermiston lead. Under a minute remaining. Blue Devils are going to lose their 5th straight. Fall to 4-8 and 1-5 in the MCC. Ball tipped by Thomas, a shot and a foul. And Monica Miller does earn a trip to the foul line. Blue Devils only have 2 foul shots taken in this game, and they've missed both of them. Jordan Thomas did just commit her 4th. 15 foul for Hermiston with 46.9 seconds left. That's probably without consequence. Miller makes the first, and Hermiston will clear the bench. Maddie Bird, Paige Pauzinski, Kaylee Young, Caitlin Heidemann, and Courtney West all into the contest. For the final 46.9 seconds in the 4th quarter. Bird misses the rebound. Put back up by Huxell. She missed it. Pauzinski down to the floor to tie up Bergevin. Paige Pauzinski a little bit gingerly backing up to the baseline to inbound this ball. Into Heidemann. And Paige is hurt.
Yeah, she got her knee rolled over on it a little bit.
Heidemann hounded by Miller. She tries to get it up court. She will get into the front court. Throw it underneath. Tipped off of Young last, and then Huxell tipped out of bounds to keep it Hermiston's possession with 30 seconds remaining. 41-26. Heidemann inbound on the baseline. Bounce into Pauzinski, coming to her right, leaves it for Young on the right side. Back up top, Heidemann on the left wing. Paige Pauzinski, top of the key, leaves it for Young, right corner. West there, West drives baseline, ball batted up into the air and under the basket. Bergevin has the steal for Walla Walla. Into the front court, up to Miller, who throws it off the bottom of the rim. 8 seconds left, Heidemann working it towards the front court, will get it there and have it stolen away by Huxell. Huxell, ball by herself, will get the shot up before the buzzer to make the final score, 41-28. Hermiston victorious here. They snapped a little losing streak, and they will improve to 5-7 and 3-5 in the Mid-Columbia Conference. For Walla Walla, now 4-8, and they are, I'm sorry, I said 1-4. They are 3-5 now in the MCC. Sway Motors post-game show is on the way as we return in 2 minutes here on AM 1360 KOHU. I'm Eric Olson. He's Sonny Levy. It's the Old West Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. You're listening to Bulldog Basketball on AM 1360 KOHU Hermiston. We welcome you as well if you're joining us online at gohermiston.com and our new web stream, powered by Eastern Oregon Telecom. It's internet at the speed of life. 41-28, the final score for the Hermiston girls. A win that improves them to 5-7 overall. And Juan Rodriguez's team now 3-5 in the Mid-Columbia Conference. They tie Walla Walla in the standings with the win. Walla Walla loses their 5th straight. They're also 3-5 in the MCC and now 4-8 overall. It was slow going at the start, and neither team really could find any points in the first 3-4 minutes of the game. Hermiston did end the first quarter with a 8-0 run and ended up 13-4 after the first quarter. Blue Devils played Hermiston tight in a low-scoring second quarter. It was 20-9 at halftime, and Hermiston's offense just doubled that in the second half, and Walla Walla never really could quite find their shooting touch tonight, falling 41-28. All right, Sonny, when you're looking at where the Bulldog girls are right now, I think one of the keys was they played better defensively. The zone defense seems to be a little bit more organized, and they're improving in that facet of the game.
Yeah, it just seemed like, I don't know if it was the tempo that Walla Walla was playing, but it just seemed like the Hermiston team was kind of playing comatose.
Well, but so I've been thinking about that. Here's the second side of this. When they slow down and they control the pace, I think they actually controlled the pace of this game, and I think that they're getting to a point now where they're not turning the ball over with the same excessive regularity that we had seen in the last couple of losses. So the paces of the game isn't great. It's not the most exciting brand of basketball, but it does keep the ball in their hands, and it leads to better shots, it seemed like tonight.
Yeah, that's if we go inside with it and then kick it back out to Jaslyn. We did only have 12 turnovers for the game, which is drastically, well, that's cut way in half of what we're averaging every game. And if you're going to get a trade-off, if you can get the win and you play at this pace, then I'll trade those less turnovers for the win.
We get to see Mia Hernandez in a starting role tonight, and she played significant minutes for this Bulldog team. She had a few turnovers, but for the most part, she also had some dynamic plays offensively. She was willing to attack the basket from that position as well, which was important to this Hermiston team. I liked what I saw from Hernandez tonight.
Yeah, she looked pretty good as far as going inside and everything for Hermiston. You know, trying to get the ball in. She's one that needs a little bit more work on it, trying to understand exactly how you get that entry pass going in down in low, because she was trying to throw it face to face to Jordan instead of getting it up and nice and easy. But it was nice to see. She's quick. She's going to be able to adjust her game to a very good ball game. So we'll see how it goes after this.
And I mean, it's the midpoint of the MCC season, so you don't want to put yourself in this type of mindset all the time. But you look at Hernandez coming into the program. Jaden Ray is a second-year starter for Hermiston. Kayla Young's doing some nice things when she's in the contest. The energy that you get from Paige Paulzinski when she's out there on the floor. Kendall Dowdy grows game after game. Caitlin Heidemann will be the next high-level three-point shooter for this Hermiston team. And then Courtney West and Maddie Fegan, we don't even see them very much at the varsity level. Plus, Jaslyn's back too, so like, you have to replace Jordan Thomas's size, minutes, dominance for sure. And you have to replace Sydney Stephanie's tenacity defensively. But this Hermiston team has a ton of things in the cupboard right now. And so the second half of the regular season has to be used as a growing point for them knowing that they're also going to get to play some tournament games.
That is true. You know, as you said last, I believe Saturday night, we were talking about so many shots going by. Kendall Dowdy tonight had shots inside the arc, and she finally took one to the rim. She's got to take those. She's got to take them inside and out to be able to help out with everybody else. Same thing as Jordan. If Jordan will turn around, and if she's close to that free throw line where she gets it, if she turns around and she's wide open, she needs to take that 8 to 10 footer. For everybody else that's coming in crashing, Sydney Stephanie just hustles all the time. You know, tonight very odd as far as fouls and stuff like that going. Hermiston did a very good job of keeping their hands off as much as they could and not getting whistled and getting themselves taken out of a momentum because they have girls sitting on the bench in foul trouble.
Yeah, and if you're looking at this through blue-colored glasses, Walla Walla stayed out on the perimeter, and as you pointed out during the game, they would wait until 10 on the shot clock, and they had not attacked today. So there's 20 seconds coming off of almost every possession where there's not really any challenge of Hermiston's defense, and they're not sure how to work with that 2-3 zone they kept looking at, and then when they went into the matchup as well. But you know, I said they're going to play some tournament games, and the reality is, unless something drastic changes, Hermiston's probably 3 of the 3A teams no matter what, because they've proven how much better they are than Southridge, and a team like Walla Walla and Kamiak and Kennewick have proven they're the class of this conference, whether they're a 3A team or a 4A team. So those two probably have the 1 and 2 spots locked down. And after that, Hermiston's got a 3 spot, so they're going to have to travel in the first round of the district tournament, but they're going to have a chance to go and play a Spokane team. And like Southridge a year ago, when there were only 3 3A teams, they played 3 extra games in the postseason. So those things are there, and Hermiston's going to have more than just the remaining 8 games of the regular season ahead of them for sure. We come back on this extended Sway Motors post-game show. Juan Rodriguez, the head coach, will join us. That's in 2 minutes on AM 1360 KOHU. You got a little bit of time. You got a little bit of time. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah? No? Yeah?
What was the score?
41-28.
You want to talk to them first?
Huh?
You want to talk to the girls first? Or me?
Sure.
That's fine. That way they can go.
You can go first because you've done it before. You're used to it. The freshman's scared to death right now. Like 30 seconds. You can hear me? Okay.
No. Oh yeah, now
Yes?
I can.
Sway Motors post-game show continues tonight from Hermiston High School's Doghouse. And before we talk to Juan Rodriguez, we have our Delish Bistro players of the game. I split the honor tonight. Jordan Thomas, 18 points, and the senior post is with us first. Mia Hernandez is the freshman. She's going to get her first throw into the fire here on the radio in a minute. But Jordan, let me start with you. Are you happy with the way you guys played tonight?
Yes, honestly I am. I mean, a win's a win. I feel we could have did better against that team, but like I said, a win's a win.
So when you say better, what would you say you guys could have done better tonight?
Well, our defense was off at times. I feel like we work in spurts when we should play a full 32 minutes of the game.
Offensively, did it flow better tonight? Did it feel like you were able to get yourself in position and then get entry passes?
Yeah, I believe offense was actually, we worked well as a team. I got some points. I feel like my whole team just moved the ball really well and every individual got their points in.
All right, so this is like the midterm. We're halfway through the conference season. You've seen everybody now. What do you want from this team in the next 8 games before the tournament?
Honestly, what I want from this team is just teamwork and just all of us to come together and just finish off the season strong because it's my senior year. I mean, I'm excited to get out, but I just want to finish here strong.
All right, very good. Jordan, we appreciate the time. Why don't you hand the headset over to Mia?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mia Hernandez. She hasn't even been in Hermiston really long enough to have been thrown into the fire of who we are up here. But Mia, how's it going? I'm Eric, by the way. He's Sonny. We do the radio here.
All right.
How'd it feel tonight?
It felt good to get the jitters out. I feel like it'll be way better next time.
When did you find out that you were going to be in the starting lineup?
Yesterday after practice.
And what was your reaction?
I was excited but nervous because it's definitely tough being a freshman, but I think we could do it.
At what point did you stop being nervous tonight? I imagine before tip-off you're nervous.
Probably after first quarter.
And what was it? Was there something that kind of let you feel like, okay, this is just basketball?
My teammates make it really easy and encourage me to keep going. When I'm feeling like nervous, they let me know that it's just another game and that I got it.
So you are brand new. Fans are still learning about you. What brought you here? Where did you come from?
I came from Sunnyside, and I have stepbrother and a stepsister over here, and my stepdad works over here, so just family.
And so you're okay switching from the red to the purple?
Yeah, definitely.
Didn't hurt the wardrobe too much?
No.
All right, Mia, well, hopefully you got a little bit comfortable here with your first interview on the radio.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job tonight.
Thank you.
Mia Hernandez, our second Delish Bistro player of the game, as the Bulldogs win 41-28 here tonight at Hermiston High School. And now the head man, Juan Rodriguez, will make his way over. Were you happy with the way you guys played tonight?
At this point, middle of the season, I'm happy with the win. Through what we've, kind of our struggles throughout the season. So anytime we can grind out a win against a team that was pretty good defensively, I'll take it.
So I speak coach. That's not really. What could you guys have done better tonight?
I honestly didn't think we were very effective on the offensive end. There was lots of opportunities for us to score. Not necessarily even through Jordan, but we didn't execute set plays very well. When we did draw a set up to give it the ball to Jordan, our entry passes weren't great. Too many of the balls were tipped. So that was my frustration on the bench. Most of the crowd here saw it. It's not necessarily our effort in that area, but it was just our lack of execution midway through our season.
So early in this season, you guys had a lot of turnovers, in part because it seemed like fifth gear, which was kind of the program's MO for a long time. How much of tonight's pace was you ramped it back, and how much was just kind of the game was a little bit slower?
I think the game was just slow. We want to run, and I thought Mia did a really good job when she had the ball in her hands of pushing the tempo, but also our zone, going into our zone, caused the game to slow down a little bit because Walla Walla would use up most of the shot clock every time, and so they were pretty deliberate in what they were doing and getting shots that they wanted, not necessarily being forced in shots they didn't. So that contributed to it. In the second half, we needed baskets, and so we did kind of slow it down and say, hey, we need to make sure we execute and get a good shot every time down.
When you look at the zone in particular, because that's something you did a bit last year, this year it's become more prominent, but it's also not something that's been the MO here. Where would you assess you guys right now in running that type of zone?
Still a work in progress. As you can see, there's still too many holes. I think our girls don't understand the basic principles just yet. They're athletic enough to cover up their mistakes, but there's too many holes, especially in the middle of the key, that Walla Walla did a good job of exploiting tonight. And it's just something that we've installed this year. Number one, because when you have 6'4" Jordan or Maddie Bird coming in the middle, it helps us be able to force tough shots. And number two, just for resting purposes, honestly, at times when we don't want to necessarily be chasing people off screens and give people rest. So our move to Washington kind of made me look at that a little bit with the shot clock. And so it's getting there. We probably need to practice it a little bit more, but it's definitely helpful to have in our arsenal.
All right, you're halfway through. You've seen everybody's seen you. What are your expectations here over those next 8, knowing that you're going to have tournament games as well ahead of you?
Expectation-wise, I just told the girls that our goal should be to come out as the number 2 seed in 3A, and that's an achievable goal. Obviously, Kamayakin's just so good that nobody's going to catch them for a 3A. So we want to get into the top seed, get us opposite of Kamayakin in postseason, and see where we go from there. But and that's the thing. We've seen everybody. Everybody's seen us. They understand that we work through Jordan, that we work through Jazz. And so we got to make sure we're a little bit more deliberate in getting other girls involved in the game because they're going to come in and take Jordan and Jazz away. Well,
you've got a really big one. If the goal is to get to 2, Friday night here against Kennewick is where that starts, and it's maybe the biggest step of the entire second half of the regular season. What do you have to do better against the Lions on Friday night?
And that one's a tough one because we weren't full strength, and so and they weren't full strength either. They were missing their post as well, so it's hard. I think we just need to make sure that we execute a little bit better than we did tonight, because I think Walla Walla gave us a lot of easy stuff, and we were able to do that. But Jordan's not going to get layups against a good Kennewick team. We're going to have to make sure that we execute offense. She sets good screens, and then we enter the ball correctly. And defensively, they have a stud. They have a girl that's really athletic, can get to the rim. She had double figures against us last time, and we have to be able to contain her. So we have to make sure that whoever's guarding her understands that she's a step quicker than us, and contain her, force her to take tough shots, and you might see a little bit of zone as well.
All right, we'll talk to you on Friday night.
Thanks, Eric.
Juan Rodriguez, head coach of the Hermiston girls, 41-28 winners tonight at home against the Walla Walla Blue Devils. Let's get the final numbers out to you here, and we'll start on the Walla Walla side of things. Peyton Bergevin leads the way with 10. Monica Miller added 6. 6 points from Mia Huxell, and then 2 points each from Olivia Depker, Carissa Oliveris, and Hannah Gilmore. Both Gilmore and Depker, just Gilmore, ended up fouling out of this game. For Hermiston, Jordan Thomas leads the way with 18. Jaslyn Romero added 11. Mia Hernandez 4, Sydney Stephanie 2 from Kendall Dowdy and Kayla Young, and then Paige Polzinski and Jaden Ray each had 1 tonight. Hermiston, the 3 3-pointers hit by Romero, that's their 3 trays, and 3 3-pointers hit by the Walla Walla Blue Devils as well this evening. Other numbers, Sonny?
Just Hermiston dominated on the rebounding side. It doubled them up. There were 41 rebounds total. Jocelyn Romero ended up with a total of 13 rebounds in the game because of the way that the defense was pulling her underneath. She did a very good job. Jordan Thomas had 8. and Kendall Dowdy had 7. Turnover-wise, Hermiston did all right. They still ended up with 19 turnovers for the game, something that they didn't, but we improved. We had a total of 12 turnovers in the second half, but as a team, we did do much better. We did do much better in this game as far as the I guess the turnovers that were just not caused by, Walla Walla that way, that we just freely gave up the ball. I think we only had 1, and that was right at the end of a shot clock where the ball was thrown over everything. And that was it for Hermiston. So by and large, Hermiston very much improved on the turnover side of the game.
Well, one of the things that made that game fast, Walla Walla is 1 of 3 from the foul line, and Hermiston was 6 of 15 from the foul line. We'll just brush past the 6 of 15 for now. But between the two teams, 18 foul shots meant this game went pretty quick here tonight. And that's why we've had this extended Sway Motors post-game show, because the boys' game is still about a quarter of an hour away. We will take a break, and when we come back, we will start the Sway Motors pre-game show, and we will do so with our coach's interview brought to you by Ranch and Home. Casey Arstein, the head coach of the Hermiston boys, is on the other side of this 2-minute break on AM 1360 KOHU. Back at Hermiston High School, Eric Olson and Sonny Levy with you on AM 1360 KOHU. We also welcome you if you're joining us online at GoHermiston.com and Mixler.com, our new web stream powered by Eastern Oregon Telecom, internet at the speed of life. The Hermiston boys, the Walla Walla boys, out on the hardwood here at Hermiston High School's Doghouse, getting set for the 8th game for each team in the Mid-Columbia Conference. They both have 4-3 records in the MCC. Hermiston's 8-3. Walla Walla is 7-4. Blue Devils won their last time out. Hermiston's lost their last 2. And they are not in a tailspin by any stretch of the imagination, but they have lost 3 of their past 4 games and are hoping to re-energize going into the second half of the regular season with Walla Walla at home here tonight. Sonny, we've heard it from Coach Arstein. We've seen it with our own eyes. Kamaikan's a good team, but Hermiston didn't play well enough on the defensive side.
Yeah, the last 2 games they definitely did not play well enough on the defensive side. They've got to be able to go ahead and put tighten the screws up on this Walla Walla Blue Devil offense a little bit. They're going to be without their leading scorer on the year, so that's going to help us out. They're going to have to rely upon coming in with their second leading scorer, and Dylan Sullivan maybe taking up the slack for there. But those are things that you have to go through the year.
Yeah, the injury report brought to you by Mirasol Family Health Center. Javon Hancock's the Walla Walla Blue Devils senior hurt his ACL. Well, he tore his ACL in the game against Southridge back in December. And Hancock's is done for the season. Hermiston will again be without Cole Smith. The ankle is still not ready to go, not feeling it 100% yet. So Hermiston is going to be short a man as well as far as depth on the bench. And we saw that over the weekend. Richland and Kamaikan at times rear its ugly head, is that Hermiston, they're just not very deep right now without having Cole Smith coming off as their 6th man.
Yeah, and that is a big drawdown for Hermiston because, you lose those 7 points, but more than that, you lose the valuable minutes that he brought to this Hermiston team defensively. He came in and gave him a good charged-up defense, and didn't have to use all the fouls, all 5 that he had, to get it done. And he just does a very good job when he comes in. And unfortunately, to not have him available again tonight hurts the Hermiston offense and defense quite a bit.
We'll get you our starting lineups and tip things off from Hermiston High School when we come back on the Sway Motors pregame show in 2 minutes on AM 1360 KOHU.
Please also give a big welcome to your hometown Hermiston Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are 8-3 to start the season and are also 4-3 in league play. In earlier action in the Gold Gym, the JV boys play, and it was a close battle. Hermiston was victorious by 2, 54-52. Tonight's referees are Dana Reese, Bruce Beecham, and Jay Barlow. The official scorebook will be kept by Brittany Smith. The score clock, the dynamic duo of Sandy and Saraya Wise, and the media specialist is the fantastic
Marlowe listening, not Marlowe.
And now let's meet the coaches and reserve players, beginning first with the visiting Blue Devils of Walla Walla. Please greet, in his first year as head coach, Mike Patterson. He'll be assisted this evening by Gary Peasley, Spencer Hessler, Michael Nahara, and Kevin Gwynn. And now for the non-starters for the Blue Devils, number 10 is a 6-foot senior, Javon Hancock. Number 20, a 5'10" junior, Hunter Polly. Number 22, a 6'3" sophomore, Robert Watson. Number 30, a 6'4" sophomore, Jacob Corum. Number 32, a 5'10" junior, Mason Eckerud. And number 34, a 5'11" sophomore, Brandon Smith. also give a please a big welcome to the head coach for the Hermiston Bulldogs in his third year, Mr. Casey R. Steen. He'll be assisted this evening by Taylor Smith, Ricardo Sotelo, Anthony Landeros, and Riley Smith. And now to the non-starters for the Hermiston Bulldogs. Number 2, the 5'8" junior AJ Ramos. Number 4, 5'9" freshman.
Back at Hermiston, Eric and Sonny with you, and we get to the starting lineups. They're brought to you by Rick's Car Wash. For the Walla Walla Blue Devils, since the injury to Javon Hancock, they've been looking for the right mixture of starting 5. They moved it around a couple of different times. Tonight, 6'1" junior Dylan Ashbeck, 6'4" sophomore Michael Cornea, a 6'4" senior in Taylor Amata, a 6'6" senior in Dylan Sullivan, and a 5'9" junior in Josiah Wick. Mike Patterson is the head coach of the Walla Walla Blue Devils. He's assisted by Gary Peasley, Spencer Hester, Michael Nahara, Kevin Gwynn, and Justin Adams. The Blue Devils have a 7-4 record, and they are 4-3 in the Mid-Columbia Conference. The lights have been drawn, and the alternating introductions for the Bulldogs and the Blue Devils starting 5 as we get a look at Hermiston's starting 5. No changes there. The point guard is the 6' senior Jordan Ramirez. On the wings, the 6'3" senior Ryan Andreessen, the 6' senior Cesar Ortiz, Andrew James, the 5'10" senior at one forward, and Adrian Mendez, the 6'1" senior at another forward, although there are many times when you could argue it's a 5-guard lineup for this Hermiston team. Head coached by Casey Arstein in his 3rd season, assisted by first-year assistant Anthony Landeros. The JV coach is Taylor Smith, C-team coach Ricardo Sotelo. The freshman coach is Riley Smith. The trainer is Dan Emery, superintendent Tricia Mooney, principal Tom Spoo. The athletic director in Hermiston is Larry Usher, and his assistant, ever important to the program, is Lindy Thompson. The Bulldogs in an all-white uniform, white numerals and lettering in black trim with purple designs down the sides. And for the Blue Devils, it's actually a all-black uniform with Blue Devils across the front in white and a little bit of blue trim. So, Hermiston in an all-white uniform with black trim on their numbers and lettering. Walla Walla in a all-black uniform with white numerals and a little bit of blue trim. Essentially, both schools have eschewed their primary colors and said, hey, let's go at it.
Yeah. Shirts and skins. You know how it goes.
Well, it's a little cold out there. By the way, it's like a throwback. 3 Blue Mountain officials who have joined the Officials Association out of the Tri-Cities working tonight. We've seen this crew before on this court. Dana Reese, Jay Marlowe, and Bruce Meacham. On the Ranch and Home scoreboard earlier tonight, Hermiston varsity girls 41-28 winners. A 54-52 win for the JV boys, and the JV girls were 78-30 winners. A technical foul has been issued for a pregame slam dunk by Dylan Sullivan to the Walla Walla Blue Devils. Ryan Andreessen at the line hits 2 foul shots, and Hermiston gets to start with the ball and a 2-0 lead to start this game. I saw it about 15 minutes before the game started. I just wasn't sure if anybody who has some importance saw it. Shot clock and game clock are off. The shot clock wasn't started. So it's 7:54 on the clock. The shot clock says 34 seconds. Are we going to reset it, or are we just... Now we'll just start it and say, well, let's play. Bulldogs attacking left to right. Jordan Ramirez drives in and is fouled on the arm by Josiah Wick. The first on him. Blue Devils started with a foul because of the technical, so that's their second. Andrew James lobs it in. Andreessen catches. Right block. Floater up over the top of the rim and into the hands of Ashbeck, who gets it up court for Sullivan. Sullivan over the right side for Josiah Wick. Wick is the new starter for Walla Walla tonight. Knocked out of bounds off of Ashbeck left, and a turnover by Walla Walla. Gives the ball to Hermiston, leading 2-0. A half minute into the contest. Ramirez hands off to Andreessen. It's Andrew James up top. James and Adrian Mendez, two guys that Casey Arstein picked out as players who had to have big games tonight offensively for Hermiston. Right side, Ortiz. He'll drive baseline, stuck there. Back out on the perimeter to Andreessen. James, top of the key, tries a three. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Andrew James, the swish, makes it 5-0. 1 minute into the contest. I mean, frankly, there have been times where it looked like it's hard for Andrew to get a shot up because still holding that shoulder injury from week 1, drive 1 of the football season, where he was the second team All-MCC quarterback. Taylor Amata goes glass and good to cut Hermiston's lead to 5-2 with 6:40 left in the first quarter. Bulldogs possessing. Andrew James kicks into the corner for Ramirez. Ortiz gets a three-pointer off. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Hermiston opens up with a couple of hot shots. 8-2 their lead. 6:25 left in the first period. Ashbeck, the junior, running the point guard position, bounces near sideline for Hamada. The senior, bumped by Andreessen as he circles into the paint. First foul on Hermiston will stop the clock with 6:16 in the first quarter. And Hermiston in front 8-2. Ashbeck to the inbound on the baseline. Baskets to his left as he looks up. Blocks and elbows to start. The inbound gets lobbed up to the top of the key into the hands of Sullivan. Down inside. Ashbeck blocked away by Ortiz. And Hermiston secures it with Ramirez into the front court. Puts on a full head of steam. He'll attack Wick, go right lane and lay it in. Jordan Ramirez makes it 10-2 Hermiston. 2 minutes gone in the first quarter and a 30-second timeout given to Mike Patterson. The Walla Walla coach frustrated with the first 2 minutes and 1 second of this contest as Hermiston has come out. I think that the calm, cool, collected messages they've received over the last couple of days since the game at Kamiakin has at least started to hit home.
You mean that little bit of fire starter kindling? Actually, a great start and a great backside help by Cesar Ortiz. Ortiz on that last play down for Hermiston down below to get the block. Every starter except for Mendez in the book already into the first 2 minutes of this game. Look to see maybe Mendez get the possession down this time to try and get something going underneath.
Sergio Madrigal will come into the game. And he's out there to replace Jordan Ramirez.
Where did he go?
Who has left at least eyesight here during this timeout. 5:59 on the clock in period number 1. 10-2 the Hermiston lead. Now we have a pause.
Blood looks like.
Jordan must have been bleeding. And
oh, there he is. He's over seeing Dan down below. I can see him down by the water bucket down there.
They walk around the court to make sure there's no blood on the floor. And so Madrigal comes into the game. He's the third guy, by the way, who Casey Arstein indicated needed to be big for the Bulldogs tonight offensively. He said James, Mendez, Madrigal. And in part because it's game 8. Everybody knows what everybody else is going to do. Left side, good lay-in by Hamada. And Taylor Hamada, who averages 11.2 points per game, has got 4. All 4 of Walla Walla's. They trail by 6. Ortiz into the lane. Misses the jumper. Up to Ashbeck for Walla Walla. He's got Hamada trailing. And Andrew James called for a foul reaching in. And got a little shoulder in as well.
Double foul. I
don't think so. Yeah, he's just calling Andrew James for the foul.
Nope. Double foul. 11 and 14. Or technical foul.
They double technicals.
I think they got Andrew for the technical, for the foul, and 14 for the technical.
Yeah, Taylor Mata just got called for a technical foul. And so Mike Patterson is getting his indication. And Ryan Andreessen's going to have 2 more technical foul shots to take here in the first quarter. We had 2 before the game started because of a pregame dunk. And now Hamada is called for a technical. I didn't see anything in particular. I mean, Andrew reached in and bumped Hamada, and Hamada and Andrew both went hard into the end wall, padding. And Hamada must have said something or whatever reaction caught Jay Marlowe's attention, and Hamada gets the technical for it. Andreessen hit both foul shots. And they get the ball as well. 5:35 of the clock in the first quarter. Hold on. We still have a little bit more officials sorting out to do. Seems like everything's fine now. 12-4 Hermiston advantage. Ortiz on the left wing. Dribbles, hesitates, drives under the basket. He'll take it all the way to 10. Foul given on his drive, and so Ortiz has 2 foul shots coming himself.
First fouls on Walla Walla, number 12, Michael Cornea.
And that's Michael Cornea's first. 14 fouls on Walla Walla now. Hermiston, they take more free throws than anybody else in the Mid-Columbia Conference at 21.4 per game. In fact, they had taken 250 foul shots coming into the game. They make more than anybody else in the conference, as Ortiz makes the first, the 5th, and now 6th made by Hermiston, a 6-for-6 start from the foul line. They have 165 made foul shots. And I'm a little surprised by this. They're improving tonight, obviously, at 6-for-6, but they're at 63% as a team. A foul by Andreessen on a reach.
Yep.
His second, third team foul. But at 63.7% free throw shooting, Hermiston is 4th in the MCC. So the MCC is not great at foul shooting, apparently.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just high school. Cornea for Walla Walla gets it into the quarter for Hamada. Hermiston up by 10. Ball knocked out of bounds. Good dive in by Ortiz.
Ortiz is doing a very good job coming backside. Like I said, if you turn your back on the defense and it's that far away from the basket, there's a good chance you're going to get double teamed.
Jordan Ramirez is patched up and back in the game, and he replaces Andreessen, who's got those 2 fouls. Into Nix. Nix with a full head of steam. Blocked from behind by Andrew James. Mendez has it for Hermiston. Up to Ramirez down the left wing. Ramirez will drive, attack, kick into the right corner. Ortiz skip across to Mendez. Mendez full head of steam down the left lane. Misses the jumper into Hamada's hands. Hamada dribbles around his back right at half court. Got cut off by Ramirez. Top of the key. Walk by Cornea. No whistle to it. Into the left corner for Sullivan. Sullivan drives baseline. Throws it away to Mendez. Mendez, a 2-on-1. He'll take it himself all the way to the 10 and fouled there. Wick and Hamada were both there. I think Wick is going to get called for this foul. That is the case. And so Josiah Wick picks up his second.
Personal foul, 15 foul.
5 team fouls on Walla Walla, not quite to the halfway point of the first quarter. Mendez at the line, trying to keep Hermiston a perfect from the line. They're 7 for 7. For Walla Walla, Jacob Corum, a 6'4 sophomore, will come into the game for Wick, and so they go much bigger. And actually, this is the lineup we had been told to expect by the radio crew from Walla Walla. 4:28 left in the first quarter, 15-4 the lead, as Mendez did miss his second, and so it's now a 7 of 8 from the foul line start to the game. Air ball miss, rebounded by Madrigal. Madrigal to James. James will drive it in right side. Glass and good, +1. Chance for a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. And Andrew James has shown a bit of offense here in the first quarter. Ashbeck, his first. Now 16 fouls on Walla Walla. James cans the foul shot. He's got 6. Ortiz has 5. Andreessen's got 4, all from the line for him. 18-4, the Hermiston advantage. Circling left, Corum on the wing, throws it to a cutting Sullivan. Sullivan to the 10, easy lay-in. 18-6, and that ends an 8-0 run for Hermiston. Bulldogs still up by 12 at the halfway point of the first quarter. Mendez misses a reverse under the hoop. Picked up by Cornea. Bounces near sideline. Hamada into the front court. Hamada kicks it far side for Sullivan. Sullivan drives down on the baseline, stuck and back out. Hamada coming to his left hand, check fouls called. It'll be the 4th on Hermiston. And Andrew James called for his 2nd. Bulldogs don't have a lot of depth, and the familiar 3 that we see out there tonight with the whistles, they have they've called things tight here early on. Blake Davis is going to come in. First, Walla Walla wants another 30-second timeout. And so the Bulldogs have to be cognizant of the fact that Walla Walla is a much deeper team on their bench. So Hermiston's got to make the adjustment. If it's going to be called tight, it's being evenly called tight, then they have to adjust it and not get those ticky-tack fouls on the perimeter.
Yeah, they're going to have to go ahead and keep the hands off, because right now what we're seeing is Hermiston playing defense with their hands instead of moving their feet. But to be fair, these Walla Walla guards are pretty darn quick. This Sullivan and Ashbeck and Hamada, they're every bit as quick as anybody on the Hermiston squad.
This is a fast, athletic Walla Walla team. Hermiston is the more basketball savvy of the two teams, it appears, through the first 4.5 minutes. Blake Davis tips a inbound pass, but it gets to Sullivan, who takes it to the 10. And he's got 2 buckets in a row. Walla Walla's cut Hermiston's lead to 18-8. 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first quarter. Top of the key, Mendez gives it up to Ortiz left side. Cut off by Hamada. Ortiz, nice spin move down to the block. It's blocked away but out of bounds by Corum into the corner. And Hermiston will keep the inbound. But Cesar Ortiz has been aggressively attacking the basket. And probably for him, if he keeps doing that, it buys him a bit of shooting space later in this game as his defender has to back off a little bit. Corum guarding him right now, man-to-man. Mendez down under the hoop, and he stepped out of bounds trying to go baseline. It will be Walla Walla's ball with 3:04 left in the first quarter. They trail by 10. Sullivan leaves it for Ashbeck, and the junior point guard will bring it into the front court, and Ramirez will pick him up at half court. Out onto the left wing, Ashbeck directing traffic, throws it top of the key. Hamada coming to his left. That is picked away, pocket picked by Ortiz, up to Ramirez for Hermiston. Bulldogs looking out onto their 18-8 lead. Ramirez bounced the ball into Madrigal's hands. Madrigal attacks the paint. Davis has a rebound under the basket. It's blocked away by Corman, and he stepped out of bounds. Hermiston keeps the possession. Up by 10 with 2:38 left in the first quarter.
Seems like the fourth quarter already tonight.
Ortiz will inbound on the baseline into Ramirez and back to Ortiz in the right corner. Cesar Ortiz surveys and kicks across. Ramirez a head fake. He'll split 2 defenders to the 10 with a lefty lay-in. Jordan Ramirez has attacked the basket well early on, has led to 4 points, 20-8 Hermiston's lead. Other end, 3-pointer hoisted by Sullivan, rebounded by Ramirez for Hermiston. He'll race down the far sideline, move to the middle of the floor, pull up over the top of Sullivan. His jumper in front of the foul line is off. Blake Davis secures the rebound in traffic. His putback is off. Bodies tumbling to the floor away from the rebound. Walla Walla's got it in the front court. Cornea picks up his dribble, hands it to Corum, who's trailing. Corum circling to his right against Madrigal, and a hand check foul called on Madrigal, who's asking for an offensive foul. Madrigal's first. It's the 5th team foul on Hermiston. Minute 53 left in the first quarter. Why is he at the line? That makes 0 senses. It is a baseline inbound. Dana Reese is saying, hey, come here to me. We're going to inbound it here. Hermiston had lined up as well. Corum didn't even get a shot up. Corum catches the inbound around a high screen down in the left corner. He'll try baseline against Madrigal. Takes the jumper over top of him. The 12-footer off iron. Blake Davis secures the rebound in traffic. And then Davis is going to get called for a elbow.
They called in for a for a flagrant foul.
First foul's number 22, Blake Davis.
So Blake Davis is called for an intentional foul. Casey Arstein's getting his explanation. Davis got the ball and was hounded in traffic and ended up landing an elbow in the chin of Jacob Corum, the sophomore. And Casey Arstein and Dana Reese are still debating back and forth the play itself. Corum makes one of two.
The call was that was an intentional foul, not a technical foul, but an intentional foul on number 22 for Hermiston, Blake Davis.
So Davis with the intentional foul, Walla Walla at inbound. Corum to put it in play. Into the left corner for Ashbeck. Ashbeck finds space to the 10. Missed the open lay-in. Mendez has the rebound for Hermiston. Up to Ramirez into the front court. Hermiston by 11. Left corner, three-pointer swished by Ortiz. Cesar Ortiz hits his second triple. And Hermiston's lead is 23-9 with 1:22 left in the first quarter. Ashbeck works out into the right corner, bounce inside right at the 10. Hamada with the lay-in on the backdoor cut. 23-11 Hermiston's lead with 1:08 left in the first quarter. Ramirez walks it into the front court. Hermiston's averaging 66.2 points per game. They're giving up 63.6 points per game. Walla Walla is giving up almost 61 points per game. Blake Davis travels before a lay-in to turn it back over. Walla Walla is an offense, 58.3 points per game. On the Ranch and Home scoreboard after one quarter, Kamayakin 20, Pasco 18.
Wow.
Pasco's winless, but they're pesky. Took Hermiston to overtime here in the doghouse. Sullivan comes around a high pick down the left lane. If Davis had stayed there to take the charge. Instead, Sullivan barking for a foul call. Doesn't get it, but he does get the lay-in. And Hermiston's lead is cut back to 10. 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Ramirez guarded by Ashbeck. 5-second closely guarded is on. And now the coaches for Walla Walla are saying, back off. 7 seconds. Ramirez will drive. Float one up. Davis pokes it back up and it falls in over the front iron. Ashbeck one hand rifles one the other end of the floor, but after one quarter of play, Hermiston 25, Walla Walla 13. We'll be back in a minute here on AM 1360 KOHU. Bulldogs hit 3 3-point shots, were the beneficiaries of 2 Walla Walla technical fouls, one before the game for a pregame dunk and one during the game. And Hermiston's lead is 25-13 after one quarter. Ryan Andreessen steals a ball, coming the other end against Sullivan, stops at the block, gives it to a cutting Madrigal, teardrop floater in front of the foul line, rolls out, foul on the rebound. And Cesar Ortiz is going to the line as Dylan Ashbeck is called for a push. 7th team foul on Walla Walla. Ashbeck's second, and it's a 1-on-1 opportunity.
His second personal foul.
Ortiz hit 2 3-point shots in the first quarter
Cesar Ortiz.
and was also 2 of 2 from the foul line. The senior sharpshooter is able to hit the first. He has always been a shooter. Every year he's been in this program and every year of youth basketball prior to that. The biggest thing for Cesar, and he'll tell you this himself, has always been how much better can he play defensively. And at least at the start of this game, he has been very good, very active. Hermiston, a 1-2-2 full court press for Walla Walla after Ortiz makes them both to extend the lead for Hermiston to 27-13, a half minute into the second quarter. Brandon Smith, a sophomore guard, is into the game for the first time. Josiah Wick is back out there for Walla Walla, along with Sullivan, Hamada, and Cornea, and a travel by Cornea under the basket. This Blue Devils team has been rattled since the pregame technical.
Yeah, Hermiston doing a good job of making sure that they're getting good backside help. That's the one thing that's happening so far, is that backside is helping. The last couple of times down, though, when they posted up down below, Hermiston has gotten a smaller person defending.
Madrigal at the top of the key gives near side for Ortiz, whip it into the corner. Ramirez will try a three, back iron off, rebound into the hands of Cornea. Into the front court for Walla Walla, down the far sideline. Stops in the right corner, open for a three ball, front iron off. Mendez has the rebound for Hermiston. He'll get it to Ramirez down the near sideline. Jordan will work it. 27-13, top of the key three for Ortiz. That one's off iron into the hands of Hamada. 6:40 left in the second quarter. Hamada will bring it into the front court for Walla Walla as they trail by 14. Hand off to Smith, and the sophomore maybe having a little bit of trouble hearing head coach Mike Patterson. Walks back towards half court a bit, gets the call. Smith has it into the right corner on a handoff. Looking inside, down to Cornea. Cornea back up top. Sullivan coming to his left. Pull up, left elbow jumper. Back iron too hard. Rebound pings out off of Mendez's hands last. It'll stay Walla Walla ball. Actually, they're still talking about it. It should be Walla Walla ball.
Also substitution for the Blue Devils.
Walla Walla will bring Robert Watson, a 6'3 sophomore, into the game. And Michael Cornea will come out. Smith to inbound on the baseline. Kind of in the left corner of the offense. Tip on the inbound by Ortiz. And then Wick has his pass tip. Stolen by Andreessen. Andreessen all by himself. Right side, lay it in. Some of the fans thought just for a brief moment that Andreessen might have a chance to dunk one home. Well, he did have the chance. But liftoff just was delayed. 5:50 left in the first half. 29-13 is the scoreline. Wick up top. Surveying to his right as he yo-yos the ball that way. Now he'll cross back over to left, lob it into the left corner for Brandon Smith. Top of the key, Hamada will give it up to Sullivan, and a shot clock violation. Walla Walla, like me, didn't even remember to look at the shot clock, and they didn't get a shot off.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because of they played yo-yo with the basketball outside so much that by the time somebody finally got an open shot, it was down to 2 seconds.
So after the turnover, 29-13, Hermiston's advantage. 5:23 left in the second quarter. Ramirez to the foul line for Andreessen. Andreessen bounced it on the baseline, and Madrigal had vacated all the way to the corner.
I tell you what, Madrigal was wide open had he stayed where he was on that baseline block because the defense for Walla Walla had already kicked away from the basket.
The 1-2-2 press continues. Hamada into the front court for Sullivan, who hands off to Mason Eckerud. We see for the first time. Eckerud has it again, the junior on the far sideline. Bounces to Ashbeck at the top of the key. Near side, pass batted by Ramirez, but gets to Sullivan, who tries a three ball and rattles it home. Dylan Sullivan has 9 of Walla Walla's 16. Hermiston's lead is 29-16. Other end, air ball 3 by Madrigal with 4:44 left in the second quarter. Walla Walla down by 13, brings it into the front court. Ashbeck, right side, Sullivan, how about another 3? This one is short. Rebound pings into the hands of Ortiz for Hermiston. He'll bring it into the front court. Looking out onto the 13-point lead. Ortiz leaves it for Madrigal, circling, kicking, left corner Ortiz, passes up the 3, bounces underneath. Mendez finishes at the hoop. First field goal of the game for Mendez, and we have a pause as Ashbeck's shoe came off. 31-16 with 4:14 left in the first quarter. Ranch and Home scoreboard. Umatilla girls fall at home to Irrigan by 11. The Umatilla boys, with about 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the first quarter, are up on Irrigan 18-3.
Wow.
About the midway point of the first quarter. Into the right corner. Hamada gets it back out to Ashbeck. Sullivan's been the most active for the last couple of minutes for Walla Walla. There's a good cut by Hamada. Cross the lane into the left block, he lays it in. It's a 31-18 lead for Hermiston with 3 minutes 42 seconds left in the first half. Ortiz at the top of the key, hands off to Ramirez. Ramirez left open, he'll find space, foul line jumper. Rolls off, Madrigal skies for the rebound, puts it back up and in. Sergio Madrigal, the 5'10 guard, in traffic, rips it away from everybody and extends Hermiston's lead to 33-18. 3 minutes 20 seconds left in the first half. Sullivan down the lane, reach in foul by Mendez on the shot attempt by Sullivan, who's going to the line for 2 foul shots. Mendez, his first. That's foul number 7 on Hermiston. With 3:15 left in the first quarter, Dylan Sullivan, the leading scorer for the Blue Devils, at the line. You had mentioned they'll look to him. He's their second leading scorer, but with Javon Hancock out for the rest of the season with the ACL injury he suffered against Southridge, Sullivan at 12.7 points per game. He's going to have to replace some of that 14 points a game that Hancock's was delivering.
And he's done it so far already. He's got 11 in the first half already.
33-20 after the 2-for-2 trip to the foul line. 3:10 left in the first half. Ortiz between the rings. Comes to his right, hands off to Ramirez. Ramirez back to Ortiz. Walla Walla has gone into a zone. An extended 2-3. Cutting across the lane, Andreessen misses the jumper. Rebound by Mendez, spins back to his left, blocked by Corum. Corum has it at half court for Walla Walla. Whips it into the left corner. Back out to Sullivan. Sullivan sees space to the lane. Missed the layup. Ashbeck gets the rebound. He's stuck under the hoop. Flings it back out underneath. Called for a walk. A timeout given to KCR Stadium. Full timeout with 2:37 left of the first quarter. And Hermiston in front 33-20. We'll take that as well. Back in 60 on AM 1360 KOHU. Hermiston a 33-20 lead over Walla Walla with 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Jordan Ramirez seeing a trap, dribbles it to half court, and he stepped out of bounds right at half court at the scorer's table. And so Walla Walla will get the basketball on the turnover. Dylan Ashbeck, Dylan Sullivan, Taylor Hamada, Mason Eckerud, and Jacob Corum, the 5 on the floor for the Blue Devils right now. Top of the key, Sullivan, long distance three, rims around out, and rebounded by Jordan Ramirez, who will bring it to the front court, where Sergio Madrigal, Cesar Ortiz, Blake Davis, and Ryan Andreessen wait for Hermiston. Near sideline, Madrigal kicks into the corner. Ortiz left open. He'll try the three and splash it. Cesar Ortiz has got 13. He's right at his average for the season, 13.3 points per game. And it's a 36-20 lead. Steal in the backcourt. Sergio Madrigal takes it, tries to leave it for Andreessen, and he has it taken right back by Eckerud. Bounce up to half court, ball kicked out of bounds by Hermiston, and a sideline inbound in front of the Hermiston student section for Corum to put it in play for Walla Walla. Sullivan whips near side for Ashbeck and gets it right back to Sullivan. Sullivan lobs it into the left corner. Ashbeck rifles it inside for Hamada. Stuck under the hoop, he reaches back out on the left side and lays it in. Hamada, that's a nifty trick shot there to cut Hermiston's lead to 36-22. Final minute 15 in the first half. 10-second call. Hermiston didn't get it up. And so another kind of unforced error. Walla Walla down by 14. A little more than a minute left in the first half. Sullivan gets Hermiston's matchup zone. Kicks Eckerud on the far side. Bounce onto the baseline. Corum back up top. Sullivan. Sullivan inside to Hamada. Hamada across the lane, lays it in. Plus Ortiz fouled.
The basket is good. He was fouled on the play.
Caesar's foul is his first. Hamada, a chance for a three-point play. He's got 12. Sullivan's got 11. They are the offense for this Blue Devils team. Hamada cannot make the foul shot, and Ortiz has the rebound. Ramirez will bring it to the front court. 45 seconds left. Hermiston would have had to go quick to get a 2-for-1. Corner for Madrigal. Madrigal tries the teardrop floater on the right baseline. It's rebounded by Corum. 32 seconds. There are fewer than a second. I think it's about a half-second difference between shot clock and game clock. With Hermiston in front, 36-24. Blue Devils holding for last shot, it appears. Hamada throws it near side. Ashbeck fouled by Ramirez. Ramirez commits his first. 8th team foul on Hermiston. Make it 9. And so Ashbeck is at the line in a 1-and-1 situation. Ashbeck clanks the front end of the 1-and-1. 9 seconds left. Ramirez will bring it to the front court. And Ashbeck blocking foul. His third, 8th team foul. And with 6.9 seconds left, Jordan Ramirez is at the line with a 1-and-1.
Jordan Ramirez also back in action.
AJ Ramos will come into the game for Ryan Andreessen, the 5'8" junior. So Ramirez has 4 points. First foul shot of the game for him is good. Jordan's averaging just over 10.5 points per game. Hasn't had a explosive game. He's had 16 in a game. Rebound by Ramos on the second miss. 4 seconds left. Ortiz coming to his left, hesitates. Left elbow pull-up jumper out, and that will bring us to the half. 37-24, Hermiston's lead as we hit the halftime break Your Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show is coming your way in 2 minutes on AM 1360 KOHU.
All right.
American Sunny. It's the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show at Hermiston High School. The Hermiston boys up on Walla Walla 37-24. Hermiston looking to sweep away Walla Walla tonight, at least at the JV and varsity level. Earlier tonight on the Ranch and Home scoreboard, the Hermiston girls were 41-28 winners. Hermiston's JV boys 54-52 winners, and the Hermiston girls JV team 78-30 victorious. Halfway through the second quarter at Umatilla High School, the Umatilla boys are up on Irrigan 25-6. Irrigan girls were 11-point winners earlier on this evening over Umatilla. Halftime, and Kamiakin woke up on the boys' side 51-27 over Pasco. By the way, Pasco girls stayed with Kamiakin as well as anybody this year, 59-48, the final score in that one. I mean, so, you know, it's an 11-point win for Kamiakin, but I think you would say only an 11-point win for Kamiakin. So that's what we have right now on the Ranch and Home scoreboard here on the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show. Bulldogs lead by 13. Probably could be a little bit more. Couple of possessions I would imagine that KCR's team would have liked better defense, especially on those Hamada cuts across the lane. But all in all, on balance, Hermiston's obviously had the better of the first half.
Yeah, I think they're doing, you know, where we started off doing real well on the backside help. Now that they got Hamada starting to go ahead and cut across instead of the post, that's what's been giving us a little bit of trouble, because we're trying to backside and they still have the post setting down low also now. So Hermiston's just got to get somebody to be able to step in front of that cutter trying to go back door on us and not allow that big man to come back around the other side. But all in all, you know, you're right. Very good job. Very well played game pretty much by both teams in this first half. Hermiston just has the hotter hand, and especially taking care of the free throws.
And I'll make counterpoint to myself about Walla Walla is they also put themselves with the pregame dunk that led to a technical. They had 2 technicals in the first quarter, and Ryan Andreessen canned all of those foul shots. So that's 4 points, 2 extra possessions that Hermiston had just through those plays. Blake Davis had an intentional foul on the other end of the floor, so Hermiston had one against them, kind of gave one back essentially. There were some quirky things that happened in this first half as well, but between all of the quirks and everything, Hermiston's lead is 37-24 here at the halftime break on the Tom Ditchell Ford Country Halftime Show. We'll take another 2-minute pause. When we come back, first half statistics, and we'll get you ready for the second half here on your home of Bulldog Athletics for 48 years, AM 1360 KOHU.
You have the second intention or the second technical. Was it Obama?
Tom Ditchell Ford Country. Let's just turn the mics up and we should stay quiet here. You'd hear Red Solo Cup on KOHU all the time. It is not just frat night, it's frat night 2 for the student section. Apparently went over so well, they re-upped. I will say generously that the student section is about 40% full. But I believe that Mr. Arstein has a really big test tomorrow. A lot of kids are at home studying for it. That's the obvious option.
Okay.
37-24, the Hermiston boys lead after the first half. Walla Walla, their scorings come from Taylor Ahmad, who's got 12, and Dylan Sullivan, who's got 11. Jacob Corum added 1 foul shot. The Blue Devils, 3 of 6 from the foul line. They made 1 3-point shot. For Hermiston, Cesar Ortiz has got 13. Andrew James, Ryan Andreessen each have added 6. Jordan Ramirez with 5. Adrian Mendez with 3. And then Blake Davis and Sergio Madrigal, 2 each off of the bench. Bulldogs, 10 of 11 from the foul line. And they made 4 shots from outside of the arc. Other numbers, Sonny?
No, just that they're getting, point production out of 7 players tonight, Eric. And that's something we have not seen yet in a Bulldog League game, or even in this season yet, with 7 players in the first half getting scoring. It's good to see that also Blake Davis coming in. His 2 points came in from an offensive rebound tip in. That's what his goal has to be, is protecting that basket down low and zeroing in on the close-in tip. Good things, for Jordan Ramirez, again, putting good pressure back on the basket, and Ortiz just lighting it up from outside.
Well, and AJ Ramos did get on the floor for 6.9 seconds there at the end of the first half, but essentially 7 guys on the floor, 7 guys in the scorer's book, and even the 2 from Davis and Madrigal important for Hermiston as well. You know, they're able to do this. They're able to lead 37-24. 37 points means you're on pace for 64 in this game, above their season average, and they're doing this while defense for Walla Walla. The thing they have done well tonight is they've limited Ryan Andreessen to just the 6 points and 1 field goal, because the 4 points came on the technical foul shots. So we will look and see at second half action here at Hermiston High School, with the Bulldogs in front, 37-24. Cesar Ortiz, Jordan Ramirez, Andrew James, Adrian Mendez, and Ryan Andreessen. And for the Walla Walla Blue Devils, Dylan Ashbeck, Michael Cornea, Taylor Amata, Dylan Sullivan, and Josiah Wick. Ramirez at the jump circle, throws it, foul line for Ortiz, turns, faces, left open. He'll hit the 18-footer.
Not what you really want to see coming out of a halftime thing, you know, talk and let the hottest shooter in the gym wide open from the free throw line.
39-24, ball knocked out of bounds by Ortiz. And Ashbeck will inbound in front of the Walla Walla bench. Blue Devils in the road black uniforms, attacking left to right here in half number 2. Hermiston all white unis for them at home. Mendez, partial block and a shot by Ashbeck. Ashbeck got a tip back, and it's touched out by Ortiz. So a baseline inbound coming for Walla Walla, down 39-24. Just under a minute into the third quarter. Wick will inbound on the baseline. Into the right wing for Cornea. Cornea goes on a baseline, bounces to Ashbeck, left corner, step back on the wing, the 3, front iron and in. Ashbeck's first points of the game come on that 3-point shot. And Hermiston's lead is 39-27, a minute into the third quarter. The senior point guard, Jordan Ramirez, will bring it into the front court, throws to a cutting Andreessen, bounce to Mendez under the basket, tipped away, and a foul called. I believe Cornea is getting his second, and Mendez is going to the line to shoot 2. That is the case. Mendez, 1 of 2 in the first half from the foul line. The only miss in 11 tries for Hermiston in the first 2 quarters. A senior forward is not able to find the first, and he'll have 1 more with 6 minutes and 54 seconds left in quarter number 3. Front iron off, wrong side for Hermiston, and their lead stays 39-27. 6:45 left, left corner open, 3 ball hit by Cornea. So Walla Walla starts the period with a couple of trays, and Hermiston's leads down to 9. 6:35 left in third quarter action. Ortiz to the foul line for Andrew James, kicks left wing, 3-pointer for Andreessen, back iron off, and ripped by Hamada away from Mendez, up court to Wick. For Walla Walla, he'll slow up, hand off to Hamada down the left wing. Hamada sizes up Ortiz, dribbles behind his back, back up top to Ashbeck, leaves it for Hamada again out on the perimeter. Blue Devils trying to cut into a 9-point lead. Cut under the basket. Sullivan catches and lays it in after Andreessen flies past him. Sullivan's got 13, 39-32. Walla Walla's got it closer and closer to start this quarter. 8-0 run by Walla Walla. Andrew James drives in, leaves it back out to Andreessen. Corner for Ramirez. Ramirez circles into the paint. To it. Andrew James out to Ortiz, 3 ball, front iron off. Andreessen and Cornea battling for the rebound. They'll say off Andreessen last. With 5:37 left in the third quarter. 39-32 is the advantage for Hermiston. Ashbeck into the left corner, bounces it inside, and a foul on Andreessen, who just picked up his 3rd. Guarding Sullivan. And Sergio Madrigal has to come back to the scorer's table. He's Had a lot of minutes tonight, in part because Andreessen's had some foul trouble. Andrew James had a little bit of first half foul trouble. Ashbeck inbound to the baseline. Baskets to his left. Into Sullivan, two-hand dunk. Sullivan wide open. 39-34. Magical lobs it into the right corner for Ramirez. Back out to Ortiz. Ortiz head fake, steps to his right, passes up a three-pointer. James, low pass, Ramirez into the corner for Ortiz. He'll work his way into the lane. Lefty scoop falls. Timeout given to Casey Arstein. It's a 30-second timeout for the Bulldogs head coach after the Ortiz bucket ends a 10-0 run for Walla Walla. Hermiston's lead is 41-34 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. But as nice as things looked in the first half, lackluster first 3 minutes for Hermiston.
It came out and standing around a little bit more than, Coach Arstein wants to see, and not being aggressive when they're going. And that time there, it was a great head fake by Ortiz to get around and just a good step through and rolled it on in from the left or from the right side of the rim for Hermiston that time.
Walla Walla will have the ball out of the Hermiston timeout, trailing 41-34 with 4:54 left in the third quarter. Left elbow for Cornea. Cornea down onto the baseline. Hamada there. Under the basket. He'll reverse it around James. And Hamada's got 14.
Got away with that one, Eric. That was definitely a pull around with his left arm to get around Andrew.
Ramirez will circle back to the jump circle and kick near side for James. Left corner for Madrigal. Madrigal. Jab step and back out on top. Ramirez driving down the left side. Pulls up over Wick. Too hard off the back iron. Rebound pings around. Madrigal tips it out of the hands of Cornea. Some oohs and ahs from the Hermiston fans, but I think that's one of those times you got to realize they say Walla Walla ball and they don't call a foul because Madrigal committed a foul there.
Yeah, he definitely almost ran him into the first row.
Ashbeck will bring it into the front court against Ramirez. There was some heavy contact there. Could have gone either way. Mendez steals a bad pass. Mendez down the near sideline for Hermiston. Dribbles around one defender. Leaves it for Madrigal. Trailing. Madrigal missed the layup. Ashbeck's got the rebound. Ashbeck into the front court. Offensive foul is going to be called. Ashbeck saw that Andrew James was on his shoulder, and he leaned his way into Andrew. And they both went tumbling. Ashbeck commits the offensive foul. And Mike Patterson says to his sophomore, Brandon Smith, you got to get to the scorer's table. It was a little bit slow to get there. So Ashbeck is saddled with 4, their starting point guard. Hermiston's lead is 41-36 with 3 minutes, 48 seconds left in the first half. Andrew James into the foul line. Ortiz open there. His jumper rolls around and out. Hamada's got it. Hermiston's gone cold in this quarter. Just 2 field goals. Hamada picks up his dribble at half court. Smith has to come get it from it. Ramirez picks his pocket. Ramirez against the sophomore. Blows past him to the tin and lays it in. Timeout for Mike Patterson. The Walla Walla head coach saw how close his team had got, and he's got to call a 30 to stop this Hermiston run as the Bulldogs are back out in front 43.
He's got to have a
36.
Full.
That's got to be a full timeout. He already called his 2 30s. So it is full with 3:19 left in the third quarter. Well, Casey Arstein told us in the pregame they needed more from Mendez, they needed more from James, they needed more from Madrigal. They're getting those things, not necessarily completely in the scoring categories, but the things that especially Sergio's doing tonight out there in much bigger minutes, because Cole Smith's out with the ankle injury tonight, and there have been, between Andreessen and James, some foul trouble tonight. Madrigal's been great.
Yeah, he has. He's given them some good minutes, some good defense, and just getting after everything, Eric. He's doing a very good job of trying to go ahead and keep the Walla Walla offensive player that he's guarding, whoever they switch off on, to just limit him. And that's all we need to do. We don't need to, shut him down completely. We just need to limit him to what he can do.
Out of the Walla Walla timeout, which ended up being a full timeout, that leaves Mike Patterson with 2 timeouts, by the way. Hermiston has 3 timeouts remaining. Hermiston shows some full court man-to-man pressure with 3:15 left in the third. Bulldogs in front 43-36 over the Blue Devils. Dylan Sullivan between the rings throws right side for Cornea. Cornea's hit a 3-point shot in this quarter. Under the basket to Mata, back out on the right perimeter. Step it to his left. Corum's 3-pointer off into the hands of Ortiz for Hermiston. Ortiz surveys up court. Andrew James left side. James, one bounce and to Ramirez. Far side for Madrigal. Madrigal from inside the perimeter will try a floater off iron. Into the hands of Cornea for Walla Walla. 43-36 Hermiston. 2 minutes 35 seconds left in the third quarter. Sullivan, who's got 15 points for Walla Walla, they lead them in scoring. Kicks it inside. Hamada, now the leading scorer. He's got 16 after that bucket. Hermiston's lead is back down to 5 with 2:18 left in the third. Ortiz back towards half court. Throws it onto the wing for Madrigal. Madrigal now will come up top. Leave for Ortiz. Everybody out on the right side. Ortiz guarded by Wick. Leaves it for Andrew James. He'll go baseline, kick it across. Ramirez tees up a 3-ball. Around and out. Andrew James rebound. In the paint. Back out to Ortiz. New shot clock for Hermiston with 1:50 left in the third quarter. Ramirez coming to his right. Leaves it underneath Mendez. Easy finish. Bulldogs spread him out. And once Ramirez was able to blow past his defender, it was an easy pass to Mendez when Hamada came to help to extend Hermiston's lead to 45-38 with 90 seconds left in period number 3. Cornea out on the left wing, and Mendez will be called for a hand check foul up top. Off of the ball, Sullivan came tumbling to the floor.
First foul is number 34, Adrian Mendez.
It's a second on Mendez. It's only a second team foul on Hermiston, and Blake Davis will come into the game for Mendez. With 1:25 left in the third. Corum to inbound, lobs it to Sullivan up top. Sullivan and Davis one-on-one. And I think Sullivan wants to, I thought he wanted to clear out. He'll give it to Corum instead. Backdoor underneath the basket. Cornea backs into the lane and lays it in. Cornea's got 5. Hermiston's lead is 45-40 with 1:05 left. Now Wick is called for a reach-in foul. It's Wick's third.
His third personal foul, third team foul.
And that is just the third team foul on Walla Walla. 1:05 left in the third quarter. 45-40. Jordan Ramirez in the backcourt. Near front court, near side for Madrigal. Walla Walla at 2-3 zone right now. James. Ortiz will try a 3 in front of the student section and splash it. 20 points for Cesar Ortiz. 3 off of his season high. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. 48-40. Cornea turns, jumper, airballed. Sullivan rebounds it. Head fake against Davis. Missed the layup. His putback off as well. Another putback. This one goes in. Davis had just mistimed those jumps trying to get the rebound against Sullivan, who kind of that situation. It's not just on the long shots, but on the short shots, the shooter's got a better idea of where it is than anybody else. Ball out of bounds, off of Wick. He stepped out of bounds on the far sideline. Hermiston's lead is 6 with 14.2 seconds left. Shot clock's off. Ortiz will inbound in front of the student section, about the 3-point line. Out to Ramirez in the backcourt. He'll walk it into the front court against Wick. Ramirez got a switch on. Now he gives it to James. James comes to the left. Saw space. Teardrop in the lane. Floats in for Andrew James. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. 50-42. Bulldogs lead as we go to the fourth here in Hermiston tonight. We're back in a minute on AM 1360 KOHU. American Sunny on the Ranch and Home scoreboard. Kamaikan 60, Pasco 45 in the boys game after 3 quarters. Up at Pasco tonight. Hermiston 50, Walla Walla 42. Hermiston's girls already winners earlier on tonight, 41-28. For the Blue Devils, Taylor Hamada with 16, Dylan Sullivan with 15. Michael Cornea got 5 in that third quarter, though. He's got Corum with the ball up at the top of the key, bounces it, Sullivan, right block, runs over the top of Ortiz, bodies falling all over the place. Andreessen's got it. Hermiston's got a 4-on-3. James kicks into the right corner for Madrigal. Back over to the near side, Andreessen. Andreessen will drive under the basket, flip it up on the bottom of the backboard, out of bounds. And we're going to have a pause here where the mass of humanity was strewn on the floor under the basket while Walla's attacking. They're going to get a towel out there and clean things up. Blake Davis, Ryan Andreessen, Jordan Ramirez, Andrew James, and Cesar Ortiz. Ortiz with 20 points leads the way for Hermiston. He's hit 4 of the Bulldogs' 5 3-point shots tonight. Josiah Wick, Taylor Hamada, Dylan Sullivan, who brings it into the front court, Michael Cornea, and Jacob Corum, the 5 for the Blue Devils. Wick left corner, bounces, Corum on the wing, left side. Back up top of the key, Sullivan. Sullivan picks up his dribble, spins and faces, looking for somewhere to go, hands off to Wick and a foul. Andrew James knocked it out of Wick's hand, and James is called for his third team foul. By the way, on the Ranch and Home scoreboard, about 2:45 left in the third quarter. Umatilla continue to control the Oregon boys, 38-11. 8-point Hermiston lead with a minute gone in quarter number 4 here at Hermiston High School. Sullivan spins around, throws it near side to Hamada. Hamada lost his handle. He actually threw it into the backside of Ortiz, who was facing Sullivan, his defender, and so Walla Walla keeps the possession. Corum to Sullivan, right side 3-ball, off iron, rebound, put back, Corum lays it in. Ripped it away from everybody, and it's his first field goal of the game. Hermiston 50, Walla Walla 44, 90 seconds into the fourth quarter. Right corner, open 3, Ramirez off front iron, rebounded by Cornea. Cornea to Sullivan, Sullivan lobs, Corum right wing. He'll try a 3 over the top of Mendez. It's off iron. Andreessen's got the rebound for Hermiston. Andreessen will drive, bounce it. Mendez underneath. High arcing shot on the reverse attempt, off iron. 2 minutes gone in the quarter. A 6-point Hermiston lead is a 3-point Hermiston lead. 3-pointer in the corner for Cornea. And the ball rolled out into what you would call in a theater the vomitorium, but it's just the aisle beyond the bleachers here. 5:50 left in the fourth. 50-47. Hermiston has led the entire game. Walla Walla's within a bucket. Andrew James, crossover step to the 10. Righty laying over his head, and a timeout given to Casey Arstein. It will be a full timeout with the James bucket improving Hermiston's lead to 52-47. 5:37 left in the fourth quarter. Well, this Walla Walla team has really started to operate in the half court. And I think the big thing was they needed somebody else to come along with Sullivan and Hamada, and in the second half they've had 8 points from Cornea.
Yeah, it's a matter that Hermiston just kind of went a little bit cold with the baskets there, and we're fine as long as we keep being aggressive. What we don't want to do is let that aggressiveness go and let Walla Walla continue to do what they're doing is get hot on their shots. Plus we're allowing some inside moves and cuts. They're getting away with a little bit of a moving pick down underneath that's allowing their guy to get loose underneath. But if they're not going to call it, we've got to learn how to get tough on that.
So it will be out of the timeout Walla Walla ball with 5:37 left in the fourth quarter. 52-47 is the score line in favor of Hermiston. Sullivan brings into the front court and hands it to Hamada. Hamada with 16, Sullivan with 15. Cornier's got 8, holds it on the perimeter. Wick hasn't scored yet, started at point guard tonight. Wick comes and gets the ball between the rings. Andrew James on him, man-to-man for Hermiston right now. Left side, three-pointer, off iron, backside rebound by Hamada. Spins to his left in the paint and lays it in. Hamada's got 18. On the near sideline, Hermiston by 3. Ortiz around to the right side. Ramirez lobs it across. Wick comes and intercepts a pass intended for Ortiz. Up to Cornea. Cornea inside to Corum, who lays it in and cuts the Hermiston lead to 1. And Ramirez was down after the play and a little bit slow to get up. I think he fell on his face, to be frank. Remember, he had to leave early in the game with a bit of bleeding. Dylan Ashbeck is going to come back into the game. That's the other thing about this whole thing, is Walla Walla is doing this without their starting point guard. Ashbeck is in now. He's got 4 fouls. Ramirez seems to be okay. 4:38 left, and the Bulldogs' lead is down to 1.
Got to take it right back at Ashbeck again.
Into Andreessen, underneath Mendez at the hoop, lays it in. Good half-court set for Hermiston. Their lead's back out to 3. Ashbeck near side, Hamada. Hamada rifles it underneath at the rim. Cornea lays it in. He's got 10. 54-53. Hermiston by 1 with 4:05 left in regulation. James into the corner for Andreessen. Head fake it a drive. Bounces to Mendez. Out. Extra pass. Ortiz top of the key 3. Rattles it home. 23 points for Cesar Ortiz. He matches his season high. 57-53. Hermiston's got 4 points in front of Walla Walla. 3:44 left in the fourth. Hamada down in the left corner. Hands off to Sullivan. Up top, Corum there. He'll try the 3 to answer back. Off iron too hard. Ortiz the rebound. Flings it up court to Andrew James. Andrew James will drive and take. The reverse is off. Ashbeck rebounds it for Walla Walla. Still a 4-point Hermiston lead. Ashbeck hesitates, drives right side, lays it in. And a timeout. Jordan Ramirez pleading with the officials that Ashbeck had used his left arm to shield Ramirez off as he went in to lay it in. He did. 3:22 left in the fourth quarter. The timeout for Walla Walla will leave them with 1. And Hermiston's lead is 2. 57-55. This is one of those, as good as the Bulldogs defended early in this game, is as bad as they've defended late in this game.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, all of a sudden, throughout the whole second half, we found that Hermiston has stopped really moving defensively. That got them into that good, I guess, race-up mode in the first half, where they built that 37 to 24 lead. Once they came back out, it makes it pretty hard whenever you're, stop moving around to go ahead and keep the intensity on the offensive side also.
It will be the Bulldogs' ball. Cesar Ortiz, Jordan Ramirez, Andrew James, Ryan Andreessen, and Adrian Mendez. The starting 5 out there for Hermiston. With 3:20 left in the fourth quarter, leading 57-55. Ramirez into the front court, hands it to Ortiz. Ortiz looking back door, gets it to Ramirez. Ramirez lays it in over the top of Wick, left side. Jordan Ramirez has 9. Bulldogs have executed some half-court sets here really well in the last 2 minutes. 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Inside and thrown over the rim by Cornea over everything. Hermiston's got it on the Walla Walla miss. 59-55 Bulldog lead. 2:45 left in regulation. Andreessen top of the key, tries a three ball. Rolls it in off the front iron. Just his second field goal of the game. First one since the early portions of the second quarter. And Andreessen makes it a 62-55 lead. 2.5 left. Answer back three. Left side is short from Cornea. Rebounded by Andreessen. Andreessen down the far sideline. Slows up on the wing and finds Ortiz. Casey Arstein says, you guys go into your motion. James around a high pick from Mendez. Coming to the right. Hamada called for a reach-in foul. His second. 14th foul on the Blue Devils. With 2:11 left in the fourth quarter, should be noted, Walla Walla's still got 2 more fouls to give before Hermiston's in the bonus, and Hermiston has got 3 fouls to give before the bonus. Cornea will come out, and he's replaced by Ashbeck again. Left side, Andreessen. Andreessen's got Wick right now. Kicks it across to James. James bounces it underneath. Mendez finishes at the hoop. Mendez has got 9. 64-55. Hermiston's pulled back out in front by 9. Minute 48 left. Walla Walla got it as close as 1. Been within a possession a few times here in the fourth quarter, but Bulldogs have been able to score on 3 consecutive possessions. And in fact, they've gone 7 straight. Wick right side, three-pointer, airballed into Mendez's hands. Mendez hammers it away, throws it up to Ramirez. Lobbed in the left corner, Andrew James tees a tray. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Put a fork in it with 1:13 left in the fourth quarter. 67-55. The Bulldogs, a 10-0 run, and they're out in front by 12.
Wow, that's very quick.
Timeout for Walla Walla. That's their final timeout. Casey Arstein said, tonight they needed some of the role players offensively to contribute. Andrew James, 11. Adrian Mendez with 9. And Madrigal didn't have to do it offensively, but he had to give him minutes tonight. He's gave him a ton of minutes tonight.
Yeah, very much, and that is what is very good job by the Hermiston team. You know, both Blake Davis and Sergio Madrigal being able to give Casey Arstein some good minutes off the bench for getting up at least, which ended up doing very much so a good job for Mendez, getting him the blow that he's been having to cover inside, and then where their big man keeps going out and shooting long, Mendez has got to keep running after him.
Well, one of the things we've seen, especially here in the second half tonight from Andrew James, is more attacking to the rim where he's going, Jordan Ramirez called for a foul.
Yeah.
Knocked the ball away from Ashbeck. And Ramirez frustrated by the call. I mean, it's only his second, so it's not like a big thing. It's also the 4th team foul on Hermiston, so that's not a big deal either. Ashbeck on the left wing. Lobs it to Sullivan, top of the key. He'll come to his left around a Hamada pick. Back to Ashbeck. Ashbeck hesitated. Kicked into the corner to Wick. Underneath for Corum. Corum turnaround Jay from 8 hits. He's got 5. 67-57. Final 35 seconds. Andrew James bringing it into the front court. Old school Hermiston running the point. James all the way to the lane. Got bumped as he missed the lay-in by Sullivan. Sullivan, his second. And Andrew James is at the line. 2 foul shots coming.
Number 11, Andrew James.
You know, fantastic couple of years as the starting quarterback. 3-year starter at the quarterback position. But sometimes what he's done the last 2 years, second team all MCC quarterback this year with a shoulder injury all season, and 5A Offensive Player of the Year during the state championship run 2 seasons ago, his junior campaign. It does sometimes make people forget a little bit. He's a 4-year starter in basketball. James cans them both. 69-57, the Hermiston lead, final 20 seconds. Ortiz gets a pick. Ortiz ticks it from Sullivan, taking it the other end. Sullivan will commit the foul and send Ortiz to the line.
First foul is number 24, Dylan Sullivan. Second personal foul.
Cesar Ortiz. 2 shots at the foul line. Makes either of them. He's got his season high. There it is. 16.2 seconds. Ranch and Home scoreboard. We do know Kamaikan were winners. 73-60 at Pasco tonight. Ortiz hits them both. 71-57. Hermiston's lead. Final 10 coming off the clock. Lobbed across, Ashbeck, right corner. Hamada tries a three-pointer. The lefty throws it into Ortiz's hands. Ortiz will hold on to it for the final seconds to come off the clock. 71-57, the final score. Hermiston boys, they gave the fans a scare. Walla Walla got it all the way down to 1 in the fourth quarter, but it ends up being a